So good call there. But finally, Bren Esports, now they have to make a decision here. Do they want to run a double marksman composition?
No, they need a hero here for Lusty. Lusty needs a good hero. I'm guessing Trusty Lusty Cho. He can also go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
He was looking at Atlas the other day, so Atlas would be okay.
Oh!
Good call. Good call.
Lusty. That's on the house. I'm here till Monday.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. It's like a little birdie just chirped in your ear and say, okay, let's bring in the Fatal Links.
Oh boy, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how this game is going to go. It's very team fight heavy. Both sides have a great way to kind of scale in towards this game. Pseudo counters on both sides. Though I will say that the Burmese will have a much more powerful level 4 in comparison to Bren here, who is going to require to have to set this fight up in the right place at the right time. Whether or not they're going to have that kind of pressure, different story.
I agree. Bren Esports needs to know when to not give that turtle. They should be fighting for this, and I think both of these teams are ready.
These two teams definitely are ready to take each other on. Are you on the Philippine side or are you on the Myanmar side? As Burmese Ghouls will be having this feed of a best of 7 against Bren Esports. We will find out who will be the grand champions after all of it. Starting from game number 1, we'll see how well will they adapt in the land of Dawn. It's your casters here on the desk. Butters, get in, as well as Leo.
All right, it's time to get the show on the road. And now let's look at the lane assignments here, because it's very important that they get the counter matchups on either side. And it looks like the Baxia is going to be meeting up his boy with the Yuzong down in the EXP lane, while in the gold lane it's going to be Alice and the Harith. Bren going to be starting off on their purple buff, while maybe looking for the distraction.
Ooh, this is maybe just looking for that ejector on the purple.
He did take smart missiles though.
Oh, all right, so he's just going to try to steal, clear wave, bother them maybe. Going to be using the Cyclone Eye right on through. Flap Easy has lethal intentions, goes for the stun, misses. There's no damage here, but puts maybe at pretty low health. So yeah, that's the tank of Burmese Ghouls out of commission for now.
I like the reaction of Flap just going in for that first kill, running over maybe. He forced maybe to use the flicker. There might be a pull yourself together on his side, but at least it goes down for a couple of minutes.
I mean, interestingly enough, I'm looking at Flapteasy and I was thinking, maybe he's going so hard because he has the execute. I double check it. Boom, he's got the rejuvenate. So again, Bren is showing a lot of respect to the Burmese Ghouls, knowing that this is going to be all about that team fight.
Yeah, Revitalize super important in this matchup. Like, you want to outlast the Yuzhong, and you want to make sure you're putting as many marks and making it as hard as possible to sustain a team fight. Now, Carl TZ here has both of his buffs, so the initial thought of invading and making Carl TZ's life hard before the first turtle, the second minute of the game, is out the window for Burmese Ghouls. They have to find another way of attack.
Now we can see up on top, Rebo here getting harassed a bit by Harith, and that is one of the things that the Harith can do. The flowing blood can be easily dodged by the chrono dash, so it's not gonna be a problem for him. Now Carl pulling that trigger on that blazing duet to clear the wave.
Yep, he wants to try his best here to kind of just control the wave so that they have first priority on this turtle. You can see the rotation. Even Harith is heading, is making his way down towards that turtle fight. And this is going to be really big here because Burmese Ghouls, they've won so many of these just off of one turtle.
This is Carl TZ going for the purple. And I do believe after Flap TZ pushes them off, they're going to go for this turtle. Now, that's few going to be pushed in by Ruby DD. Oh, Carl TZ gets invaded in by Ruby DD, and that's going to be the turtle taken here by Ace. And there's not much Bren Esports can do. Flapteasy sure palms the Poison, but for so long, how can you survive this? Oh, he's still in it. That's a nice dash. He saves himself, and that's going to be just the first blood and the turtle. Oh wait, Burmese Ghouls, they're not going to force it. Instead, just going to go for a few hits on the first turret.
Great save coming from View there. If he wasn't there, at least then he would be going down and giving another kill over to the Burmese Ghouls. But this is what BG kind of play for. First turn, get that extra gold, make things work.
Oh, here we go. Butters, check it out.
And look at this. The unstoppable force will be forced, but still maybe won't go for the engage. They don't have their ultimates, they don't have their spells, and they are just forced to back out. It was a bit of a, let's say, they're trying to just scare out Lusty to not follow them.
What's happening here up on the top side? Looks like, I mean, both sides are kind of just eyeing for information, and especially Kid. There could have been an engagement there, but counting the numbers, 3 versus 2, not the best, so they have to pull back. They get some good damage onto Few for now, but how long can this last? Calamity Reaper being purchased by RubyDD.
Ooh, Mountain Shocker scouting out where the rest of Bren Esports are, and that's gonna be Rebo. Just hit by 3. Smooth operator. RubyDD is so far responsible for the 2 kills currently present for Burmese Ghouls.
And Ace even stole the crab coin that Carl Peasy was taking on that top lane with the Mountain Shocker. So things are going great for the side of Burmese Ghouls.
Maybe looking low. Oh, that's the first pick off. Few gets it. And this is some redemption for Bren Esports. Like, they can at least take the purple. And yeah, we are about 5 minutes in, 430. 1,000 gold ahead.
I mean, is it some? Because again, they're losing pressure across the map, and now Burmese Ghouls are looking to continuously attack, and they are destroying the shields. They've already completely cleared off the barriers coming in from that topside turret. Few, he gets on out of there. He doesn't want to, you know, put himself in any more danger than he already is. The Burmese Ghouls only up by 700 gold, but they could double this off of a single kill.
Bren Esports, they should look out for the pickups that Burmese Ghouls are going for.
Yep, odd angles the Burmese Ghouls want to go, and that's Few getting blasted out, but Ace from the back lines getting caught first. That's a trade currently. The mid support for the core and the tank, and now Flapteezy still has the Poisson, gets caught in there by the Dragon Tail, knocks him out, and the fight stays here near the turtle pit. Now Lusty trying to make sure that they all stay put, and Kaltiti trying to take this, and he does it 1-for-1 now. An injector onto one. Rebo going into the back lines. He is going to retreat. RubyDD wants more. That's the disengage.
Oh, RubyDD, he needed to target a single person. He drops down the Zaman Force and he got splits in 2. He wants to go for D, but then Kaltizi's in the back. Which does he go for?
Bren Esports know that Burmese Ghouls have the team fight on lock right now for the early game. What they are doing right now is this: they're trying to get the small victories. Get the turtle, don't overextend, do not engage him as much as possible. It's their time now. Just scale for a bit, wait for the proper timing to fight, and Bren Esports are doing it well.
Can they get more, though? Can they push this advantage that they have here? D needs to get out of there. Oh, no, Rebo, he gets caught by the Imperial Justice. Great play coming in for the Burmese Ghouls, and a huge counter item here. Necklace of Durans just to stop the healing coming in from everybody on the side of Bren. And they want to go for another pick onto Lusty. Wrong place, wrong time.
On the bottom lane, there is another kill on Flapteezy, and bodies are going down on the floor just because Burmese Ghouls, they really like these pickoffs.
3 fronts and 3 losses here for Bren Esports so far. Kaltizi looking for revenge. The bloodthirsty prodigy here gets one at least, shutting down RubyDD. Now the fight continues after taking this turret. That's the knocking him up. Gonna go for the Black Dragon form. This is a full bar of Sha energy, and now Kaltizi dueling with Ace, and there you go. The unstoppable force takes down the core. That's Claude destroyed here, Kid flickering out, and that's D finally shut down by Lusty. Currently 2-for-1. Bren Esports, they seem to be getting trumped by Burmese Ghouls at every turnstile.
I think, so far, I think it's just 2 mistakes, and that's why the Burmese Ghouls are only slightly ahead here.
Burmese Ghouls, they've been getting a lot of these kills, but for the side of Bren Esports, they're getting the trades, because the last time they met, every fight that Burmese Ghouls wins, it actually has an objective that comes with it. But for this certain game, there is always a trade in terms of 2-for-2, 2-for-1, and Burmese Ghouls, they're not getting the turrets early.
Yep, unstoppable force here, plus the ejector into the back lines. Poisson's not gonna save you. RubyDD, an assassin of a Harith, takes down Flap. And now, hold up, Kaltizi looking for some revenge. Kid uses the Imperial Justice to retreat. That's gonna be D going in. Where's the backup? They're looking for it. Kaltizi getting blasted. Oh, that's the Fatal Links onto one. D is still alive. A bar full of Sha, and that's Few destroyed by D, and they get away with it. RubyDD is just having a ball.
Oh my goodness, how did D survive that? My goodness, he really took quite a beating off of it.
And Burmese Ghouls, they're getting the fights, but they're timing it well. When do they take a fight? They take a fight when they take down Flap. Flap is respawning. He cannot respond to that gank, and that means D, as of now, will be unkillable.
I think it was looking good initially because he was looking for that pick off. He was trying to say, hey, I could get this big stun onto D, and maybe we can play off of this. Burmese Ghouls see the opportunity to say, hey, he has no options to get out now. We can look for the punish.
That is true. As you can see right now, Burmese Ghouls, they really like to go for these kinds of plays. Just stay in the brush, try to get the ejector close to Kid. Kid sets up the Imperial Justice, and that is a 1-for-1. And that's what happened right here.
Same old story, the same old story. Lusty walks into a death bush, and now FlapTZ trying to save the day. Son, it's too late.
The classic happens more times to pros than you would like to admit, but D is going to keep on smacking up that tier 2, and this is what Burmese Ghouls have been doing ever since the group stages, just making sure they take fights and they start getting that return of investment somewhere across the map. Todak did a pretty good job, but you know, Burmese Ghouls making it look really, really natural.
Bren Esports, they should be looking at that Lord, maybe not give it to Burmese Ghouls as of the moment, because when they do, that is going to be all of the outer turrets down, and probably one inhibitor turret on their side is going down as well.
FlapTZ hit there with the ejector, but it's going to be a non-starter. Real quick, item check. Kid just bought a glowing one. That should lead to more kills, but right now, that's the Mountain Shock. They're starting it off. As we just said, Few gets taken down. Ruby DD though, 2-for-1. The current trade here, the numbers are going well for Bren Esports. Kid and Ruby DD for Few.
That was a great fight for Bren Esports. Burmese Ghouls, they thought that they caught Bren off guard, but they were ready. They knew that there was a possibility, a small possibility, that someone or two people are there in that brush, and it paid off for them.
Yeah, and I mean, even Rubidi D, he dropped down the Salmon Force to make something happen, but now the Burmese Ghouls looking to turn this fight on top of them to make sure they don't get the Lord, maybe in the back line, but he goes down almost straight away. FlapTZ making sure he's zoning out Ace. They have a double kill coming in for KarlTZ, making it look real nice and smooth as the comeback mechanic is here, down 4K, now evening up the score to at least 1K differential and taking the lead.
Oh no, the fight continues. Kid forced to retreat. Zaman forced it in by Ruby DD, but the damage has been done. Words have been said, feelings have been hurt, and Lord is marching down mid.
Nice engage there for the side of Kid. He might have bitten off more than he can chew, but Ruby DD saves the day. They cut their losses to a minimum.
Check this gold graph out. At least we get a better idea, because again, when we were looking at the Burmese Ghouls, they were almost reaching that 5K mark, and that would have been a really difficult position to get, especially when it was about 7 to 6 minutes of the game. Now things have changed, and they're looking to force it harder.
Yep, they're pushing this mid lane turret. Mission accomplished for Bren Esports. Ruby DD takes a few hits from Lord. The swing of the axe chunking him off to about half health, and there's another push up top. Wow, how the tables have turned. Burmese Ghouls now feel the pressure from Bren Esports.
And look at this, all turrets, all outer turrets for the side of Burmese Ghouls are going down, and for the first time in forever, I'm seeing Burmese Ghouls defend their own turrets.
I mean, don't hold your breath for too long here. This is going to be the Lord power play. Bren going to force the situation here. D trying to disengage the entire team to allow time and buy space for Ruby DD to drop the Salmon Force. And Bren Esports, they call it. They see what's going on. No, I will not let you choose this fight. And maybe he's not done with it yet. The Unstoppable Force is going to get punished with the Circle Eagle as the rest of Bren Esports push him back into the Toys Poissons as a recommendation to stay away from our jungle.
That was a good move for the side of Burmese Ghouls, that they just wanted to catch one person for the side of Bren Esports and toss him back. Maybe just stall Bren Esports from pushing. But Burmese Ghouls, the execution right there didn't really work out for their side. Just because Bren Esports, they were ready and they know that that will happen.
Oh, FlapTZ here picked off by Ruby DD. They get their comeuppance, and it's not for free. Butters.
Divine Crystal and Divine Glaive and Holy Crystal, not Divine Crystal, goes up for the mages here on the side of Bren Esports.
Oh, D with that Black Dragon form, and we're looking for a big engage here. That's going to be the... the Blazing Duet takes down the Kid with Few putting in the last touch. Now D here, caught in no man's land. You are the odd one out. 2 for none here so far. Bren Esports turning the river into a wasteland.
Right now, I have to give it to Bren. Their re-engagements into these fights, especially when Burmese have the advantage, is pretty significant. Let's check out the items here. Butters, what are your thoughts?
Okay, Athena Shield for the side of Lusty. That will help him survive Kid Sylvana. Rebo is on a roll right now. He has all of his items up. Winter Truncheon is there. Flapteezy is kind of having a hard time just getting his items. He has a Molten Core there just to clear the waves. For the side here of D, he doesn't have, let's say, a Blade of Despair just to add extra damage. Ace here still has 4 items only on his belt.
I mean, with the items in the position that they are in right now, Burmese Ghouls, 39k to Bren's 43. Bren just hit their power spike. All Burmese Ghouls have to do, play this slow, clear that waves, wait until that Lord is up, and then play this stalemate where you're putting enough pressure to say, hey, I could look to contest you on Lord, and I might contest you on Lord, but as long as you are not finishing the Lord, we have enough time to hit our 42k power spike, and then that's where they're going to call it.
Queen swings on Carl Teasy. He might just tank some of the damage.
Oh,
Here.
the fight has already started from the back line. The ejector on the Flapteezy. He pops the Poissons, and that's D taking quite a few hits from that. Mountain Shocker gonna be an incentive for Bren Esports to back out. That's gonna be from the back lines, baby. Getting chonked. Oh, this is going to be the pit helping Bren Esports out. That's a double for Bren. Make it a triple. It's 1 for each of the TZs. And right now, they are primed for the second Lord take. Mind you, this is Luminous.
Oh no, this was a very poor choice for the Burmese Ghouls to actually initiate on that fight. They said, hey, maybe we can go back in. The Toys Poissons has been wasted, and D, he's got a little bit of health. He has max on his passive, so he could heal back up. Unfortunately, RubyDD can't get into the fight. You want to fight on these neutral objectives, a place where you have a lot of places to abuse your Chrono Dash and kind of outmaneuver your opponents.
Molten Core became the cursed helmet here for Flapteezy. Carl Teasy having a good time just roaming around the map, getting those stacks, and Dominance Eyes, Queen Swings, Cursed Helmet. That is enough defense items to tank the damage that will come out from Burmese Ghouls. So that means as long as Flapteezy is getting item progression, there is going to be a lot more resources that will be put to him to take him down.
I would totally agree here, and again, Burmese Ghouls have to choose the places that they fight in. They cannot go into these narrow corridors. They cannot afford to get hit by these big-ticket ultimates from Lusty. And if Rebo gets into that back line, sure, you have escape mechanics, but Kid needs to be the one to dictate where the place and time the fight is going to occur.
And those are all tall orders because Bren Esports has the superior combat mobility. They can just say where the fight happens and they can force him, and right now that's what's happening here. Mountain Shocker to try and clear the waves, but it's too little too late. Lord already whacks away at that inhibitor turret. Ace at less than half health. That's going to be the push on bottom lane as well. Now only mid stands. Let's see how Burmese Ghouls will deal with the second Lord of the game. There's a fight on all fronts here, and I'm waiting to see who's going to make the first move.
Oh, thankfully they were able to kill the Lord before it actually charged in towards that inhibitor down on mid side. That would have been a huge blow.
That Rebo is just turning on that Blood Ode. He's never turning it off. He has the purple buff on under his belt. Now Carl Teasy, they have all the time in the world to just end this just because Burmese Ghouls, they're not getting their buffs anymore.
Yeah, this is the choke right here.
I mean, yes, you're saying it's a choke, but it's only 8k. They're only 8k behind. Burmese Ghouls, if they win one fight, they're even. And if they win that fight, the goal lead isn't going to matter at all once it hits that 53k mark.
But then again, Gideon, if you are defending this hard, you take every advantage that you can.
True, but that also means you have a safe way to farm. It goes both ways here. Bren need to find a way to catch the Burmese Ghouls off guard. And the Burmese Ghouls, if they get a little too antsy and they don't play disciplined and walk out and get punished for that mistake, Bren will end this game. There's going to be 92 more seconds, and Burmese Ghouls don't necessarily have to force anything.
So far, these two teams have been acting like well-informed businessmen. They know the economy of their skills. They know what the timings are like. They know which heroes should be the priority. And right now, they know how much each buff costs. And that's what I'm trying to get at. The last time we checked, as you said, it was what, like a 7k, 8k gold lead? Just. But that's because Bren Esports has been on the choke only about a rotation of buffs in, but now that's the second or third, and Burmese Ghouls, you see it, you feel that Ruby DD, you feel that Ace, they're just not dealing as much damage.
For now, but let's have a look. I mean, they've got the purple buff, which is really important, especially for Rebo here. And now, keep your eyes on Kaltizi. When he has that orange buff, Burmese Ghouls might have to reconsider whether or not, who the hero priority is going to be here. And this orange buff, it's way too important.
Oh!
Pulled in 2 from the Burmese Ghouls, and the Mouth Shotgun does come out, but maybe he's trying to zone out the rest, and Flaptizi, he doesn't mind taking that damage as he goes on forward, but Ruby DD is going to be the next on the chopping block. He tries to dodge it around with his Admin Force, but it ain't going to be enough as maybe pulls backwards again. He can't do too much. He turns around with the Imperial Justice. Ace tries to go in and get the killing spree. He's got it down. Now it's a 1v3. He dodges right in between, sweeping and sliding, but Rebo finally joins the fight. This is looking pretty bad for the Burmese Ghouls, especially on game 1, and Bren, they call it off, take their wins, and now they need to end this right here, right now.
And this is going to be few. Trying to do as much damage as possible. Maybe here. Gets gone out. Ace gets gone out as well. And look at this. The burst down won't be there. But that is not going to be the main objective as the base of Burmese Ghouls go down.
That's game 1 taken here by Bren Esports. Chalk one up to the Filipinos. And Butters, how perfect you called the very last moments. This is a different Bren Esports. They don't need that game 1 pickup.
Yeah, and of course, we're going to get back to Butters in a little bit. This is what you actually talked about much in the couple of all these series. They always lose game 1, and they are proving everybody wrong this time. They are picking First Blood.
Yeah, more importantly, that First Blood, it really made quite a difference, didn't it, Butters?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the pacing here, the First Blood was good, but at the same time, Burmese Ghouls, they still played their game. They had the perfect.
Here, it's like, but then you're up against someone you can't really bully, and then what's the point, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about this one because this shows intention is to get that Veil or even the Benedetta if he can get anywhere close to it. So there's a lot of all these layers when it comes down to team fights coming from the side of Burmese Ghouls.
Oh.
And to add on top of that layer, it's really Roger that will be giving them so much of that sustainability and damage in the late game.
Okay, it's good against the backshock. It answered the backshock just because of the percentage damage that he has when in Wolf form. He can dive in for the Selena, he can dive in for the Farsa, and it really gives a lot of Bren Esports positioning problems throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at this draft. I'd say it's rather interesting here, but Burmese Ghouls draft. This is the first time I'm seeing their draft and thinking like, man, this is a pretty hard to execute draft in comparison to Bren Esports, and it feels like a change of pace.
Yeah.
Definitely a change of pace, and of course, having a little bit of that scalability definitely helps the side of Burmese Ghouls, but you know, Bren Esports is that team that will press you on from minute 1, and that might just be the trouble for the side of Burmese Ghouls. But, well, Butters, this game, I'm pretty sure there's a stance coming in, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from both sides.
Yeah, it's just hard to execute for the side of Burmese Ghouls, but Bren Esports still has something simple, so let's see.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going in towards game 2. Bren Esports 1-up. Burmese Ghouls still looking for the first point, and casters, please have the floor.
Oh, thank you, Aaron Contra, my friend. Now, the reason why I'm saying Burmese Ghouls have a more difficult composition naturally is because of what they have in the lineup. But more importantly, we saw previously when they were up against RRQ. RRQ was like, yes, we want a hard-to-play composition. Burmese Ghouls, I like it simple, and I like it effective.
They have 2 executes on their side for Burmese Ghouls, and it really makes a lot of sense just because they want to take Flap TZ as fast as possible. Get his HP on that threshold, press that, and just rinse and repeat.
Yep, and they want to do it to everyone on Bren Esports side because they're all high damage output heroes, right? Rebo, even Lusty with the only fast, Carl TZ, of course, the core, and this is currently turning into the most fair metagame of Mobile Legends we've seen in a while, right? Save for those diggy strats, but right now, Flapteasy dueling with D down bottom. Up top, it's going to be the Benedetta versus the Farsa on Rebo and Ruby DD.
Yeah, this might be the first engagement here. Again, we are seeing the Mountain Shocker to get a good idea of how this is going out. Lusty, he sees what's going on off on top side. He's just going to use his G Kundo to get on out of there. As you can see, the Burmese Ghouls have control over that top side, but Bren don't necessarily have to react. I mean, look down bot. They are pushing out D.
Ooh. Now Lusty caught out here. Again, the big rotations by Burmese Ghouls not turning into much. Getting a few hits on this energy shield is Flapteasy and Few growing their lead by about 400, 500. Very, very small, not yet noticeable. But right now, after this turtle, 2 minutes in, definitely we're going to see an early lead.
You can see right now how serious Burmese Ghouls is into taking this turtle. They know when will it come out, and look at this, they have 4 people in the area already.
Knock up here by Cho, maybe gonna be telling them, hey, it's ready, it's ready. The blade put in by Kid, taking some damage, is maybe Pop the Poissons. Carl TZ, Lusty at less than half health. I think Bren Esports already got what they needed. That's the turtle.
Yep, and I definitely think it was a little bit of a macro mistake coming in for the Burmese Ghouls, where they're making the call thinking that they were going to get invaded, but instead Bren Esports take the advantage of this, and you go for the turtle, because again, look at D, he only just hit his level 4, his wave was already pushed in. They realized, oh, we're at a level disparity, only because they were able to push D out at the 2nd minute of the game. Small decisions like this make a huge difference, and Burmese Ghouls will not take that risk.
Now Lusty is just staying in the brushes. He knows that he needs to find where maybe is gonna come from, but Carl TZ is just farming well, different from the start of game number 1.
Here we go, Way of the Dragon already on top of maybe to get the first pick of the game. First blood goes through, a quick follow-up with the Abyssal Arrow here, and Burmese Ghouls, again, they are just pulling backwards. They're not trying to be too aggressive, and these picks are going to hurt them at the end of the day, considering what their lineup is.
Now 3 minutes, 30 seconds in, all heroes on the map have their ults. So now fights are going to get more interesting. Engagements are going to be almost all in, and if not, somebody's going to be counting, hey, this guy spent his ult, we should go for a move now. Like the final blow here by Ruby DD, gets caught in by Few in that bush. Oh, Ruby DD wants more, level 6. Here comes the rest of them. Nice arrow to scout out the bush. That's going to be Carl TZ charging up this arrow. Gets a few hits in. Mountain Shocker from the back. Here comes Lusty. Way of the Dragon. That's going to be the Fatal Links by Maybe. And the fight is happening underneath the turret. That's going to be Ruby DD, the first casualty. That makes Kid the second. That's Rebo getting double. Maybe is next. D coming in with the Black Dragon form, and Carl TZ is in his face. That's gonna be Flapteasy coming in. No regeneration for you. Far for none currently, and Ace is the lone survivor, dodging that arrow by just an inch. And right now, he has no choice but to go down. The wipeout delayed by Bren Esports. They take it nonetheless.
Burmese Ghouls, Bren Esports, they're playing each other's game. Bren Esports went to the territory of the side of Burmese Ghouls in terms of playstyle, and now they are serving the pain to the side of Burmese Ghouls.
Now, Leo, I know you were, very iffy about specifically the Selena and how it's supposed to be executed here. Few legitimately won that entire fight, landing one of the most weaved through Abyssal Arrows to make sure it landed onto Ace. Full 3 seconds of lockdown, allowing Lusty to control the fight. But again, another one will occur.
Same way with the Way of the Dragon, but I'm a believer. Ladies and gentlemen, Maybe gets knocked out. They trade out for Lusty, but it's worth it because it's a 3-4-1. Ace bites the dust. Now, back to what you were saying. This was yesterday, man. This was yesterday when the win rates were on an all-time low, and Ruby DD barely gets away with his life, spending his entire kit.
I have this hunch that Ruby DD was looking at the map, just staying there, and he forgot that Bren Esports was still in the area.
I mean, look at Carl TZ. He has literally 100% kill participation. 4 kills, 5 assists, making sure that that Mountain Shocker is getting maximum value. But check this out. The way that they initially started, Few is ensuring that every single time he doesn't necessarily need to be there. He just needs to stop the follow-up after the abilities occur. So, Fatal Links, whatever. Oh no, you're going to be throwing your Roger in? That's when I'm dropping the arrow.
You also have to look at what Joe did, and Benedetta gets caught out.
It's like he dashed into the arrow as well. Great conditioning here by Bren Esports. Oh, and they get another! Carl Teasy takes down Ace and maybe is running for his life. That's a double for the Prodigy. I don't need the Lancelot. Y'all gave me the YSS, and now Kid flickers back.
Oh my goodness, if you would see the fights, how they happen. Lusty and Q, they're just playing out of their minds. D here getting controlled, arrow thrown out. D will escape, but there is a cut there by Lusty. And that is going to be another takedown. Paper the side of Bren Esports.
My goodness, Few is just, I'm not gonna lie, there's not a few games where there's not a few games I would like to admit it, but this one he's kind of smurfing. He really is kind of smurfing here, and Burmese Ghouls are playing so nervous around him.
You know, Gideon, I get your point. I'm not a fan of the Selena 50-50 hit or miss as well, but for Bren Esports, if it works, it works.
Numbers don't lie. If you're sitting at 13-1 at 7 minutes in, about 7K ahead, and you leave your opponents running like that, and you're drawing lines with the arrow, I couldn't ask for more if I was Bren Esports, but the Burmese Ghouls, they must be sweating it right now because I think after this last turtle is going to be Lord. What do they need to do? Do they need to take less fights? Do they need more defensive? Because they've already lost all their first-tier turrets.
They need to start playing a lot more safer. They don't need to get caught out like this. The real big threat is going to be Lusty and Q, so as long as they have eyes on them, they don't necessarily need to do these aggressive plays. And Burmese Ghouls, once again, want to try and make this aggressive play happen.
Oh, here we go. The fight has already begun with the turtle being taken out at the right second. Now D getting caught out in the middle of 3. That's going to be the Poissons in here by Flapteasy, stopping the regeneration. Oh, and we're going to see a triple. Are we waiting for it? That's maybe down by Rebo, and Ace is running away. Oh, he's not going to survive. That's Flapteasy getting him on the rollout. And right now, Bren Esports is feeling it. They could convert to a massive scale. Maybe 2 turrets, maybe 3. Who knows? They're unstoppable in this state.
I'm starting to get more and more disappointed. This isn't the Burmese Ghouls that we know and love. This wasn't the same team that played yesterday. They are playing scared, and not only that, they're making terrible decisions. Right off the bat, they're not playing off of the power spike. They could have waited for the 22K mark. Instead, they give another 5K over to Bren Esports, a full turtle, and another turret. At this point, Burmese Ghouls are just putting more nails in their own coffin. This is not what I wanted for them. This isn't the team that we know and love.
Burmese Ghouls, they need to find a way to stop this bleeding right now. Flapteasy is just zoning out everyone. Even D cannot stand in front of Flap. Flap is level 10, D is level 8.
Huge gap here, huge gap. And the fact that Flapteasy knew that D was there went their way because he knew that it was the only thing left. And if anything, I'm sure he could have forced the Black Dragon form and wasted it for the next team fight. But right now, Ace! Oh, he thought he could get executed, but now it still counts as a kill for Few.
It was a very good attempt, but now Burmese Ghouls, this is a situation where every single fight you really can't do anything, and Bren has the perfect lineup to start pushing their leads with the Farsa and as well as the Selena. Those two are so snowball-oriented, it's ridiculous. Rebo can scale. Unfortunately, Few may not scale as hard, but regardless, his utility is invaluable.
Oh, wow. D retreats from the duel. He was going 1-1 against Flapteasy, and Rebo says, I gotcha, bro. Finishes it off with a feathered airstrike.
It hit earlier just because he was flying. But still, that is going to be a Lord attempt going to the side here of Bren Esports. Oh my goodness.
There's no contest here.
There's no contest.
Look at the wall of Flapteasy and Few.
And it's not because Burmese Ghouls doesn't want to contest. It's because they can't.
Oh, it hurts to see. It hurts to watch. 13K ahead, and all this because Burmese Ghouls are feeling nervous and made some really bad decisions, especially when they wanted to contest that turtle. They lost 10K off of that, and honestly, I think this pretty much seals the deal here unless Bren makes a mistake. But we've seen how Bren plays. This is how they do it there at the Philippines, watching their VODs. The moment they get that lead, they don't let go of it.
Burmese Ghouls, they need to find a way. And what's that way? Just wait for Bren Esports to make a mistake, but
Yeah.
how long can you hold on?
Bren Esports is gonna force you to answer, and here we go. Feathered airstrike here by Rebo. They know now after 3 fights that have just gone sideways, they know that, hey, let's not force it. I know we're under our base. I know that they're surged, but hold up! Lusty with the way of the dragon. Ace gets eliminated. That's gonna be the trade though. Kid takes the show down, and now Ruby DD is feeling his life is in danger, and yeah, that's gonna be the push onto mid lane. The inhibitor has been taken down, and they're sieging up top as well.
You know, considering the situation, this ain't too bad, but now the Burmese Ghouls, it's an all or nothing push here as D tries to get another pick onto Cartesi. They're trying their best. Ruby DD goes down. The killing spree puts Cartesi in perfect position, and now this was their last attempt to try and go for a fight, and Bren is able to stand up tall. They're going to take all the inhibitors and force out the Burmese Ghouls to take one last fight to ensure they put the last nail in the coffin in this game.
Oh, 2 defenders now, 3 in comes Ace, but there's no way taking this inhibitor with them. They're not keeping it, that is. Oh, I'm wondering if they can finish here. Bren Esports, they're all here, all 5.
Bren Esports, they're gonna try, but there are a lot of buffs onto the side lanes, and they're just gonna go for the all-in.
Yep, Kid taken out here. Calteezy barely surviving. The shutdown onto Flapteezy. Oh, Ruby DD feels it. He can shut down Calteezy, and indeed he does. The execute pops the Yusun Shin, shutting him down 9, 1, and 8. Hold up, Rebo and Lusty. They're not done. Oh, what an alley-oop by Few from down south. It's just D left here to defend, and I don't think he can do it. Black Dragon form. He's gonna try. He's gonna try. He's going in for Few, and he knows that there's a wave here. Feathered airstrike by Rebo. Feathered airstrike by Rebo. Lusty knocking him up. There's some shy energy, but it's not enough. That's the wipe out. We're waiting for a wave of minions, and here's one defender. Here's Kid. What can Kid do? Flame shot here by Few. He's gonna knock him up in just a matter of time. Ladies and gentlemen, Bren Esports takes game number 2.
Back-to-back wins scored by Bren Esports of the Philippines, and the Myanmar side could not respond to this call. Like what Butters mentioned here, they tried to even go in for those sort of objectives, but they understand they're a little bit too far behind after a couple of all these fights.
And considering how things are going for the side of Burmese Ghouls, they need to go back to the drawing board. It seems to me that they forgot how they beat Bren Esports in the first place. Now, if they expected Bren Esports to just come here and play the same game as they did on their first meeting on the upper bracket, they're gravely mistaken. They should find a way to stop them at this point.
Personally, the way I look at it, the draft absolutely fine. I mean, Burmese Ghouls should have been able to win on this draft. It really came down to a couple of macro decisions.
Oh, it did. It
Matches,
did.
yeah. Oh, no, what?
No,
no,
no.
It's a Kagura. It's a Kagura.
It's a Kagura.
Definitely a Kagura. Great that you spot that one out, because I don't want to deal with 2 clots nobody wants to. And it's partly impossible.
Yeah.
So, a very team fight oriented side for the South Bren Esports, something that they are bringing it time and time again. But Burmese Ghouls, they have improved their run here, perhaps with Lapu Lapu. So, talk us through this top before we get ourselves in towards Landon.
Here, now Burmese Ghouls want to play a game where it's macroly sound. They want to go for split pushes. They want to have a little bit of elements of pick potentials to get these small skirmishes done. Bren, on the other side, complete team fighting composition. They want to go for those big dives. They want to go for those full 5v5s in the jungle. It's something they can be aware of, because Burmese Ghouls, if they're still feeling nervous and they make the wrong decision, they could break.
And here we go, another game in the grand finals. It's the M2 World Championship 2020 M2. And Burmese Ghouls still looking for that point, and Bren Esports looking to lock themselves in towards match point.
Let's get it on, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Kid, so brave, trying to stop Cartesi from this quick take. And Cartesi, mind you, already at less than half health.
This is the way you want to do it. Burmese Ghouls, they know that level 1 is stronger than Bren. They want a team fight, but not at level 1. What can they do? Kagura can try to zone them out, but level 1, she's pretty useless. Flapteezy on the other side, isn't going to be able to participate. Lusty can't push out, and the same goes for Few, who didn't react and start with a mid opening.
Butters, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing
Quite
what
the
you're
shuffle on
seeing.
Bren. Quite the shuffle.
That is going to be Few on that support Benedetta. Well, mid lane Benedetta, rather. And that is going to be very interesting, since we do see Few on these kinds of heroes, but ever since she went to the mid lane, this has changed a lot. And as you can see here, he is punishing Kid and he's giving a hard time for Maybe. It just feels like Maybe is forced to use his kills on that Benedetta alone.
At this point in time, I think it's a pretty good opening coming in for the Burmese Ghouls. A great adaptation to say, hey, even though you do have a Benedetta in towards that mid lane, we're still going to put some damage into your jungler. Because remember, Cartesi, he is going to need a little bit of help on his first clear, and then after that, he's generally okay.
Yeah.
The last time we saw a Kagura on the side lane, that was used by 10S Gaming Frost. It's as if Bren Esports, they're getting a lot of their ideas from the enemies that they faced along the way.
Yep, just like the Sharingan from Naruto. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? 2 minutes in, here's the first turtle. Two teams jockeying for position. Few picking the fight. That's going to be the Spiral Strangling by Maybe, although he does take quite a chunk of damage. Ace resetting the turtle here. From behind, in comes Flap TZ. Where do Carl TZB taking that gold buff down bottom lane? I think there's enough time for him to rotate. Oh, hold up, Flap TZ getting caught out here. Oh, that's gonna be D committing already. He sidesteps the fight, and that's gonna be Carl TZ with the battle mirror image out. Ruby DD wants to disengage. That's already a few ults spent.
That's some very big ults and the more key ultimates. Unfortunately for Kaltizi here, fortunately for Kaltizi, he survives all that damage, and still Burmese Ghouls now just waiting for their ultimates to come back up off cooldown, and then Bren just needs to kind of maneuver the fight a little bit more.
Yeah, and as you can see, Burmese Ghouls, they're not getting the play that they're good at. They're not getting the first turtle. Bren Esports just controlling this area of the map so clean.
Yeah, same goes to the side of Burmese Ghouls. Now, get in. Right now, over bottom side, it's Ruby DD. He's kind of suffering a lot of hits.
Yeah, he's taking a little bit too much damage overall, and I think at this point in time, Bren, they want to make sure that they are playing the stalemate game. Ace, he doesn't get hit by that perfect match, which is going to allow D to get into the backside. The Bravest Warrior comes in, but unfortunately, it's going to be the rest of the team coming through. It's going to be Flapteezy with the Dragon, Black Dragon form. They trade 1-for-1, but it's still not looking good, as the pick potential coming out from the side of Burmese Ghouls is still a little better, and the rest of Bren Esports weren't able to keep up.
I like the execution there coming up from Burmese Ghouls. They did not back down on the idea, and they get rewarded. Flap here getting harassed a bit by Kid, and as you can see, Burmese Ghouls, they just want to take down a turret.
Oh, here we go. I think the Burmese Ghouls have committed so far, and there's no turning back. That's Rebo getting bursted down here by the Lone Wolf. That's D. That's going to be the Electo final blow, not hitting much, maybe a pulse or two. And right now, that's going to be disengage off camera. Maybe duels down Carl TZ and wins.
That is some great micro mechanics there. Kid abusing the fact that you can get pulled, and even a pick. D surviving a 1v4, hops over the wall, making sure that he's using the structure to gain that extra bit of distance. It pushes him on the other side, creating a large gap that Bren cannot close in on.
Burmese Ghouls, they're being very flexible in what they're able to do. They learned from the 2 games that came, that Bren Esports won. But maybe here, that is Imperial Justice hitting the ground.
He's already spent it, and right now they are overcommitted. Carl TZ with the Blazing Duet. He's protected by this wall. Flap TZ gonna help with the kill. That's Rebo securing it. Down goes Kid. Oh, and Few getting threatened here by Ruby DD. Mind you, this is an assassin show with the high and dry. Sitting at 3-2. Burmese Ghouls have a 3K gold lead waiting for this second turtle.
But you know what? This is looking great for the side of Burmese Ghouls. I mean, Carl TZ is not getting the steady farm progression. For Few, he's having a hard time dealing a lot of damage just because he is forced to join every single fight.
Yeah, and you bring up some really great points here because, again, Bren, they cannot just keep on taking these fights again and again and again and again. Their teams still need that return of investment that Burmese Ghouls have been denying them. So, unless Bren is able to try and pick those buffs up later on, it's going to be tough because Burmese Ghouls doing a great job at just saying no, no, no.
Oh no, Rebo here. Getting jumped on. Nice. Yin Yang overturns a swap underneath the turret. There's a lot of damage. Beta links by Lusty. And Ruby DD still stands. Way of the Dragon, but he will not survive. That's going to be 2 for none here on the side of Bren Esports. Some room to breathe for all of us.
I mean, I took off my blazer already. This has been a really intense game here. I feel like I am just sweating all the time at this point. Oh boy, yes. So coming into this game, and more importantly, we can talk about some important factors here while we're at the in-game pause. We can see that number one, Cartesi, yes, he is starting to get ahead here off of the over-aggression coming in from the Burmese Ghouls. However, you have to kind of commend them here for the side of BG, because now they're not playing as nervous. You can definitely see a little bit of their previous form.
Yeah, and of course, speaking of those sort of forms, right, they're also taking all these sort of playbooks out there. They face the side of... They've seen 10 Seconds Gaming Frost do this exact same thing with the Atlas as well as the Kagura. Just before we pause, the exact combo. Fatal Links can be coming right after or before that Yin Yang overturn.
Burmese Ghouls just woke up. They know that they have to start winning, so Burmese Ghouls just... I don't know. It seems to me like they're being more, they're being very careful than their most, extra careful rather than their most games. Just going into the fights, it's like they really just try to utilize the Lee Shin, and this is why this is one of their best heroes. They know how to pick their fights. They know how to set the positioning. Now, for the side of the Cho, he's been winning it a lot. He's been catching Rebo out a lot, but that two-man, that skirmish on the bottom lane, which they won, I don't really know what kind of effect will it have for Bren Esports, but it will stop Burmese Ghouls from being aggressive for the meantime.
It keeps Bren in the game for sure.
For sure.
And seeing how this draft has come to fruition, again, you see the intention before they locked it in, and now the execution. It's definitely divide and conquer. That's the only way that they can make this work. And right now, going back into the game, we are still sitting at 3-4, about a 2,000 gold lead for the Burmese Ghouls. And yeah, that's 2 turrets ahead. Hold up, fight already breaking out. Not wasting any time. Maybe Dash is on out of the way. Burmese Ghouls, again, you'll never see them being there 3 or more in a single place. Like, they want to pick off these little fights. And again, Ace is just happy to help at any point.
And I think the Burmese Ghouls, obviously, it's still a little rough around the edges here. They need to start focusing on their side lanes. And although they're getting, they're getting some really good catches overall, their main focus should be, yes, major objectives. All tier 1s have been destroyed here. And if Bren Esports takes one back, no big deal. We're still going to pressure the other side of the map.
This is the Burmese Ghouls that we all know, and this is the Burmese Ghouls that their fans really love. This early game domination, this is a trademark of the Burmese Ghouls.
Oh, this fight is already broken out. Imperial Justice by Maybe. There's the Fatal Links by Lusty, but there's no damage present. Flat Easy, Black Dragon form, drawing a line that he's enforcing. Nobody goes through here. Carl Teasy is busy farming. That's going to be killed with the Duran. So yeah, he can start going into Flapteasy and make sure that Flapteasy doesn't even heal off of the killing spree. Now, Orange, oh, I think it gets stolen away from Carl.
Wow, D is doing a really great job here. Few gets absolutely chunked out. A solo kill down on bot side? Flapteasy? What happened? Oh, he had Kid nearby. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
This is tricky for the side of Bren Esports. This is the winning form of the Burmese Ghouls now. For Flap, he should be a bit more careful. If the enemy knows that he doesn't have the Black Dragon form, that is an automatic engage on his side.
Yep. Permission to attack, sir.
Permission to attack.
Oh, that's going to be a catch onto Few. Electo Final Blow using the iframes to get on out of there. But despite all this effort, despite surviving, they are going to lose another turret up top, and now only one stands in mid.
Now, just for a quick explanation for those of you who don't understand what iframes are, iframes is just a short form of invulnerability frames, a short period of time, or frames that the game uses to kind of calculate how calculate a measure of time in which you are going to be invulnerable. You can't take damage, the CC is not going to matter, and especially with Benedetta's eye for an eye, if you haven't played against her yet, well, you probably should be playing more ranked.
This is a high-level game, and one of the signs of or symbols that it is a high mechanic game is look at the kill score. 4-4-4, 8 minutes in. 8 minutes in, it's usually a blood battle already.
Oh, Imperial Justice here by Maybe, and yeah, they disengage. It's a false engage, but oh, they're forcing Bren, and I think Flapteasy bit the bait. That's going to be the Black Dragon form, and that's a check. All right, no ult on Flap TZ. We can go the next time around.
Oh my goodness, they have insurance policies for the side of Burmese Ghouls. The moment maybe is deciding, okay, maybe I should go for the Imperial Justice, he's allowed to go. Ace quickly uses his Mountain Chakra to give him a double confirmation, whether to keep on going or to pull back out. And as soon as he did that, he saw, oh, 4 members of Bren are already too nearby. We got to back on out of there.
Now, Bren Esports, they're clearing the minion waves. I'll give them that. But Burmese Ghouls, they are setting up well for this Lord. Now, looking at the items here of Carl TZ, he only has the Demon Hunter's sword. The sword, the Golden Staff will come out in just a bit, but still, look at the items of Ace. He is with the Blade of Despair and a newly built Endless Battle.
Oh. Honestly, look at the items of D. He, instead of going defensive, he's like, no, let's fight, bros. Give me that Bloodlust Axe. Give me that Blade of Despair. I want to be able to take you on 1v1. If it's a 1v4, even better, just more healing for me.
And this is, let's say this is a Kagura special. She's one of the heroes that can do this. She can send the umbrella to a nearby brush to just check who is in that area. And that eliminates the element of face checking for the side of Bren
Oh,
Esports.
and they face check into this Lord. Take Flap TZ Black Dragon form. Imperial Justice already spent in by maybe. D gets blasted down. Rebo gets the kill. And I think Carl TZ as well used the Blazing Duet to clear that wave and win that fight. That's one pickoff, which gives Burmese Ghouls the sign, hey, Lord is not safe. We back out here.
Oh man, I honestly believe almost 100% Kid misclicked the Circling Eagle on the wrong target there. No way would you ever want to use it on Flap TZ.
You know what? Kid, the moment he went down, every single Burmese Ghouls player just went back and reset the Lord. And that is the discipline that got them into this Grand Finals.
I can only imagine what the comm sounded like, but yeah, Lusty is going to get hit by the Imperial Justice and walk away, but no real follow-up from here on out. But it just means that the rest of BG are going to be able to take this out, and now the fight begins.
That's going to be a takedown onto Lusty. Mountain Shocker here, going to be disincentivizing them. Sticking together, Carl TZ picked off by Ruby DD. Few taken out by Ace, and now Flap TZ, the only one left because Rebo's going to back out. That's a double for Ace, a 4 for none, plus the Lord. Rebo's sweating it.
Burmese Ghouls. That is one of their trademarks. They go for a very sneaky Lord, and after that, you can see Ruby DD just playing his game. He catches out Carl, punishes Carl, and now Carl's farm can't be felt just because he's respawning.
11k and Ace, he's going to be able to take out one more inhibitor shot. Rebo getting hit by literally everything. He quickly goes for the close umbrella to quickly transport himself, but Lord on towards the top side. All 3 inhibitors are done. Perfect match at Fatal Links. This could be it. Bren come in with an amazing blazing duet, but they got to get rid of that Lord. If Lord doesn't go down, then they might lose. Thank goodness Bren turned this around. 10k down. An amazing play coming in from Lusty.
Hashtag thank you, Lusty.
That was too close for comfort.
If only the members here on the side of Bren Esports had more damage, that could have been a wipe. But Burmese Ghouls, that just goes to show that they still have the lead in terms of the items. Now, looking at it, they are forcing to go to that middle lane, but Atlas, Lusty finding that opening.
Oh, that's so good. That literally saved them the game right there. The 10k down, they wouldn't have won any other way. Flap TZ, oh no, D actually missing the last hit there, and I think he might have been pretty close to killing Flap there. But overall, great job. Bren need to kind of hold on. They need to do what Burmese did in the previous game, which what they were supposed to do, which is hold out and allow them scale.
Circling Eagle here pulled by Kid on a blazing duet. Carl TZ, D coming in. Carl is in trouble. That's going to be maybe taking him down. And the Imperial Justice makes sure that there are no survivors. Flap TZ cordoning off the rest of Burmese Ghouls from their base. But he gets bursted down here by Ace. 2 for none already. It's looking grim for Bren Esports because the Burmese Ghouls have once more woken up. They are ready and they're looking for the finish.
Yes, and Burmese Ghouls, this looks like a 2-1 going. This is a 2-1 going to the side of Burmese Ghouls. Bren Esports. They made a bit of a complex lineup there.
This is looking more like it in the Grand Finals, and Burmese Ghouls gets their first corner at the back. And just look at how coordinated they are. Once they establish control, they set up checkpoints inside of jungle, making it definitely harder for the side of Bren Esports to bypass, but that real sneaky lure really got them the game.
Yeah, they really abuse power spike mechanics there, knowing that 2 items, and especially with Hunter's Machete just fully stacked up and can actually allow him to solo the Lord with no issues whatsoever there. Great ideas, but overall, this is the Burmese Ghouls that we were waiting to see. A macro-based team that wants to make smarter decisions than their opponent. And right now, Bren, again, I don't think they made too
But
many...
Grok is that answer, and it will stop a lot of people. It will stop a lot of heroes on their tracks to get to the backline.
Is this the violent Grok once more? Is this the Grok with high and dry and a bloodlust axe and a blade of despair?
I believe so. This might just be it, or you know, you just want to set up those walls somewhere in between. They want to fight on those choke points. Yeah, let me cut your team into 2 and I deal with one thing at a time.
I think it's going to be a 1-2-2 composition, to be fair here. I do think that the Grok is going to be roaming in between mid and the gold lane just to kind of clear it up to allow space for Yishin Shin as well as the Lunox, both of which don't exactly do wave clear that great until the later stages of the game, especially for Yishin Shin. But overall, I think this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a real tough one for either side.
Yeah, just looking at how this is going here, Burmese Ghouls trying to actually equalize the score to 2-2, but Bren Esports, I really do love the draft, and great shows honestly never go out of style. From M1 all the way up to its M2, you still see it in the grand finals. Moving in towards the land of Dawn here, back towards the caster's desk, and we will be moving in for game number 5.
And a lot of things ride on Few and Lusty's back. They have to set them kills for Carl and just let Carl do the work when he gets the items.
Let's look at the lane priority here, because again, the lane assignment, sorry. As we see Grok up into the top line, going up against that far side, and we can see Lusty already trying to disrupt that purple buff as much as it can, but again, Retribution still too powerful of a spell.
And he did try. If he would have picked that up, that would hurt Burmese Ghouls a lot, but it was still a flicker spent for Bren Esports.
Yep, and that's something Burmese Ghouls will definitely remember. They'll say, okay, we know that at least for 2 minutes from now, Lusty doesn't have a flicker. So yeah, when this first turtle comes up online, then that's one less catch.
You're looking nervous there, Leo. What's going on, man?
I'm just wondering what this Grok is going to be like. Again, seeing that it's on Ruby DD. It's the high and dry. It's the one that deals a lot of damage. It's the one that wins duels. And I love how high
and
high risk lineups like this are able to just swing the metagame, and this is what Burmese Ghouls needed. This is the kind of lineup that just makes Bren Esports think like, okay, I haven't seen this much in scrims, it hasn't performed much in professional scenes, and this is the kind of specific answer you need to be able to get these series wins. And OD using the battle mirror image against Flapteezy down in the side lane here, the EXP lane, and grabbing him. Hold up, interesting use. Interesting decision to put the Claude in the XP lane.
Yep, they want the Claw to get the level 4 first. I think that's also kind of interesting as well, considering what the matchup is going to be like here. But notice the way that they're rotating, putting a little less priority over the mid lane once you have Lunox starting to get, once Lunox does hit that level 4. So, again, it's going to be a different set of lanes here for the Burmese Ghouls to kind of adapt and try to be efficient with their power level spikes.
Bren Esports, they have been beaten by Burmese Ghouls with this Lancelot pick. Flapteezy trying to go for maybe. Does maybe have the flicker? Yes, he does.
Puissance here by Flapteezy, not going to be putting a beat on anyone. Nice flicker in. That's going to be 2 knocked up. And Flapteezy pulls the double. That's first blood. Make it a triple. They trade out Flapteezy and Few, but is it going to be worth it? Because Flapteezy's still alive. Phantom Execution keeps him alive. And there's a triple for the Prodigy. The turtle still stands. It's only D here up in his own lane. Man, I think Burmese Ghouls made the right call in saying, okay, you farm up, man, because this is the hot zone down here.
Yeah, that was huge for the side of Bren Esports, and D's going to be using his Blazing Duet to clear the waves really, really fast and maximize EXP. But you gotta give it to Kaltisi, and as well as Lusty, that 3-man G Kundo literally enabled Kaltisi to get so far ahead.
And Lusty,
that's going to be a trade-off. Hold up. Lusty pulling a Leo Burby himself. That's going to be maybe blasted down. Another for Kaltisi. Thank you so much, Few, for pinning him down.
Why are you thanking the player?
No, I mean, no, it's the player who said thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. I got ya.
Dude, it's
But
adding up.
still, Carl, this is the problem for these kinds of Groks. I mean, Grok is strong when you're sticking to the wall, but then again, you need to get a bit of levels just to proceed or just to have the progression in terms of being tanky. But if you actually have that high and dry, then that means you're gonna go for a very violent Grok. Then that means probably a Bloodlust Axe would do, but you're not as tanky as you think sometimes you are.
Oh no, maybe he's taking way too much damage. He gets absolutely pinned down there. Even with the smart missile, it's not going to be enough. RubyDD is going to be the next to fall under the hands of Lusty. Great setups coming all across the board from Bren Esports.
And Carl Teasy here just showing us if you shut down this Lancelot pick when we first met, this is a new Lancelot special that I'm bringing to you guys right now.
Interesting clash there as now Bren Esports opens up this bottom lane. It's going to be Kid. Oh, knocked up with the Way of the Dragon here by Lusty. And he's going to be able to dash out maybe and D. Lacking damage still. I think I know what's going on now with this RubyDD Grok. He's expecting that it was Bren going to be taking it slow, but so far Bren have been answering back with 2 or 3 people.
Oh!
I don't do much now. Look at this. Kaltizi gets caught in. Oh! D is dealing a lot of damage. That's already the blazing a duet with a few stacks, pushing back Kaltizi and the rest of Bren Esports. So far, 8-2. Less than 2,000 in the lead is Bren, and we're sitting at 5 minutes waiting for another Lord about a minute away.
I got to give it to Maybe there. He stopped Carl Teasy to getting the Phantom Execution over the wall, and that would have been so huge for Bren if Carl Teasy was able to get that double kill there, but he's going to do it one more time on top of D. He jumps away.
He's so brave, Carl Teasy, using the brush to try and pick off that Claude. And as you can see, the intensity right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the stage, they're just screaming their lungs off.
Oh boy, it's only going to get more intense from here. Bren getting some good timers here, and now they want to punish Kid. He goes for the Brilliance, tries to close the distance, but it ain't going to be enough when they're going to get stopped in that tracks with the Phantom Execution of the Toys Poissons to completely cut them off from that reinforcement. Imperial Justice landing and RubyDD. He's going to say nope, but going to use his Power of Nature to kind of walk away here and absorb all of the damage. But at the end of the day, the Way of the Dragon is still back up, and they get bot tier 1.
And D going for that mid lane turret. They will get it, but they had to put 3 people on it just to get it. I mean, Bren Esports, in terms of turrets, they're equal. Bren Esports is not getting a lot of objectives. It's just that they have more control over the turtles.
Yeah, and they have more turtles, and right now, Lusty gonna get blasted out, and I think that's counting ults. That's none on Burmese Ghouls. So yeah, definitely uptime on Bren Esports now. It's on their side, and the third turtle, 100% take rate. Butters, this is what you were talking about, right? Same turret count, but when it comes to turtles, Carl Teasy just always online. I guess this is what you get when you're trying to farm up on so many different heroes.
But Burmese Ghouls, they do have time on their side. That's one of the things that they have, scaling.
That's true. I mean, how long can you do this for? Because eventually it's going to be the end game mechanic that Bren is looking for, and that is... Wait, hold on. What? Something's going on towards the top side. Ooh, D actually surviving with literally 1% of life left. And it looks like Bren still putting more gasoline on this fire.
But look at this, onto the middle lane. There is a fight happening.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be popping up even up top, so I guess we'll pick one of them. That's gonna be off of Kid, and up top it's Carl Teasy. Maybe he wants to go ahead and flicker out, hide into the bush. That's going to be the Thorned Rose saving
Look at Lusty.
Carl Teasy a little bit. Oh, Lusty's waiting. Lusty's waiting.
They're gonna do it again.
Oh, underneath, that's gonna be the Thorned Rose one more time. Maybe gets it. Imperial Justice pins down RubyDD, but he's A-okay. Charging up the clothesline from hell to clear out this way, but there's 4 members. Way of the Dragon by Lusty, and that's gonna be one taken out alongside the turret.
Oh my goodness. Literally one of the more beautiful dives I've ever seen coming out of Bren Esports. The perfect juggle of aggro, the turret aggro coming in from Flap Teasy, and as well as Few. Hats off to them. That was so clean.
And you can see here Few just staying there near that orange buff. They're baiting it so that they see Ace. And look at this.
Oh, the orange buff invade has turned into a full-on fight. Feathered airstrike here by Rebo, and now Ace wants to find some prey. Kid getting blasted down. Few gets him, but they trade out. Maybe gets the kill, 1-for-1 currently. Nice ejector to save D, and Ruby DD wants to go clear the waves. Flapteezy maintaining the pressure. That's gonna be the disengage. Hold up! No, D wants more. Flapteezy rolling out.
Okay, Turtle is definitely positioned onto the side of Burmese Ghouls. They have the key points into the map, and Card doesn't care! He just goes in, look at this!
Way of the Dragon and the Feathered Airstrike! Oh, that's 2 down! Automatic for the Doctor! He's looking for another patient. Wings by wings up, Lusty. Gonna be knocking up Kid. Where is you going, son? It's going to be a chase, and I think he's gonna survive. He's just waiting on the Order of Brilliance. They're gonna let go. That's the last turtle of the game. Ruby DD still alive. Keeping him up is the Ancient Blessing. So far, so good. Burmese Ghouls good at keeping damage control in check. And now at 9 minutes, how long, Gideon? How long until one of their cores, D and Ace, can just come out and pick them up from here?
Look at Few here just picking up those 3 armors, and look at this. They're just casually getting it just because a lot of the items here from side of Ghouls are physical damage, and look at this. Ace going in, he gets the kill. Carl will be the first pickup, and Bren Esports, they might bow out of their first fight, but Flap still regening.
I was gonna say that might have been the first plot twist, but Flap surviving. Gideon.
Yeah, Flap surviving, rather interesting. It does show that he has a lot of tankiness built into his kit, which is definitely something notable. However, the Burmese Ghouls, they actually won the fight, which is rather surprising. They managed to catch out Carl Teasy and shutting him down for some huge, huge gold. But at the end of the day, it's all about that scaling. Burmese Ghouls, if this is the best that they can muster, they're going to have to make it work.
Yeah, at some point, those casual armors are going to be expiring, and now Rebo gets picked off from the back line. Flapteezy running for his life. He's going to roll out, and that's going to be an ejector onto Few, plus the Imperial Justice keeping him alive, and now D taking his best here, doing his best to deal damage and back out. So far, so good. Another pick off by Burmese Ghouls.
Oh my goodness.
Oh! While Mount Shocker keeping them in place. Can Ruby DD come in with a wild charge? It is off of cooldown. They go for the conversion. Wow, Burmese Ghouls back in here, closing the gap now just under 2,000.
Bren Esports need to be very careful on those brushes. Bren Esports rather. Burmese Ghouls are masters of that ambush strategy that they're doing.
Oh, Flapteezy rolls into 4, but here comes the backup. The cavalry has arrived. Ace knocked out by Few. That's a pickoff. That's for free. I think they're just jockeying for position. Lord down bottom. They want to take as much as they can. Ruby down as well. Down bottom, it's going to be D. Oh, wow, making quick use. You could have held your breath there.
Yep, and that's the thing. Their main team fight capability is coming from D. He is making sure that he's literally the strongest person on his team, and even Yi Shin is mainly acting as utility for a large majority. He's got to outplay this. Battle Mirror Image, he gets hit by one. The third hit, G couldn't go. The Brilliance comes out. Lusty is going to get chunked down, but the Blazing Duet is way too early. Flapteezy is going to get right on top of it with the help of Few. It's going good, but maybe now all by himself. Where is Ace? Ace needs to get here to get his damage down. He gets onto Flapteezy. He secures the kill. It's a 2-for-3 trade-off, but at the end of the day, the Burmese Ghouls, no worries. Nothing that Bren can do to converse, because Carl Teasy was the one who went down.
But now things are looking great for the side of Burmese Ghouls. Their Claude has items.
Yeah, all the more this becomes interesting. Ace here now picks up his endless battle. We're seeing a very, very small gold gap. Barely 1,000, right? As the minute goes by, let's check out the items here.
Okay, so that is going to be a Blade of Despair and an Endless Battle for Ace. D has the Wind of Nature, the Queen's Wings, the Demon Hunter Sword, and the Golden Staff.
Wow, I didn't realize how big he was. He literally has a scoreline of 1-1-3. Who would have thought he's already got 9K under his belt?
He does have an Avarice, and he got a lot of lanes on his side.
Oh, another fight occurs though, and that's Ruby DD getting caught out. Way of the Dragon onto the Grok, but it doesn't last as long given he was next to a wall. All right. So far, Burmese Ghouls are getting better at this. Oh, nice ejector onto Few. Few gonna be dashing out, and in comes the Blazing Duet into the back line. Few goes down, Kid gets the kill, and now Flapteezy looking low. He's not gonna be saved by the Turtles Poissons. That's gonna be 2 for free, going to the Burmese Ghouls. Rebo pushing them back. This right here is all that Bren Esports can do. Slowly but surely, we're entering the end game, and Burmese Ghouls, once more, we mentioned earlier, they have the late game in the bag.
Bren,
To have the late game on the bag. But Bren Esports, can they hold on? Now, the pressure goes back to their side.
Yeah, I mean, Bren messed up there. They wasted 5 ultimates just to get a Grok, and they didn't even successfully do it. Burmese Ghouls pull the trigger, and that's what they want to do. Waste the ultimates from Bren and get a free fight as they do it again once more. They're trying to bait Bren into something they don't want to take.
Ooh, Carl Teasy gonna use a Cyclone Eye here. Oh no, Ace confirms the Lord take. Nice combo here. Oh, the shutdown immediately on the Carl Teasy. That's 2 for Burmese Ghouls. That's none for Bren Esports. Do mind you, the Lord has already been taken here. And just like that, Bren Esports came into the fight fresh, but they lost nonetheless. Burmese Ghouls showing us superior positioning and target prioritization.
And this is where Carl Teasy really just wants to get the kill on D. But D has the wind of nature. Now, Feathered Airstrike is going to play a huge role into this defense.
Well, if he's going to push on forward, and inevitably it's going to be okay, but right, they got a big shutdown onto Kid, which is great, but Kid isn't the main target here. Yes,
yeah,
it is a constant source of damage and forcing a lot of itemizations from Bren to go into Magic Resist, but at the end of the day, if they don't take out D, it's going to be a problem, and not to mention Ace is starting to catch up in that target prioritization of becoming a huge problem. Few tries to go for the Imperial Justice, is not looking good to here for the rest of the team. It's going into the back line. They're trying to make it work out, but Ace, he's on the run. Yishu Chin is probably going to go down, but Few, he doesn't actually get him. He's able to dash out of the way, the Traceless, and is able to come up in time. And D is absolutely gigantic, taking out 2 members single-handedly. And you can see that Carl Teasy does not want to be a part of that.
And this is Bren Esports. They're playing as individuals right now. Burmese Ghouls. This is the superior team fight, superior macro play that we expected from them since game number 1.
So far, so good here. Bren Esports, until that Lord take, it's been their game. But right now, Burmese Ghouls, they put Bren Esports into a position where if you get frustrated, you're gonna lose.
And I think that's what Bren is. They are frustrated,
You
yeah.
can see it. You saw how much Few went for the chase, and there was no chance. It was 4 members of Burmese Ghouls there hiding in the bush, even if there were only 3 and the rest were putting down pressure elsewhere. Oh, Bren Esports, they really dropped the ball on this one. Currently down 4 turrets, down a Lord, behind about 7,000 gold.
I mean, honestly, one bad team fight for the side of Burmese Ghouls could easily turn Bren back on top and just, you know, really even things out. But the people who need to keep their heads cool right now is Lusty and Carl Teasy. These are the playmakers, the damage dealer and the playmaker. Rebo, he's been playing a very consistent game so far, but the problem is whenever they initiate the fight, they're out of his range of damage. They don't want him to force the wings by wings to get closer, because that puts him in a huge compromisable position.
Yeah, and now Burmese Ghouls, they are controlling the buffs here for the side of Bren Esports, and this is what Bren Esports did for the couple of games that they won here in the series. Burmese Ghouls, slowly but surely, just walking up to their base. They're not forcing anything. They're waiting for Bren Esports to be a bit impatient.
Somebody's going to have to make a mistake here. It's either Bren or the Burmese Ghouls. And Bren definitely, after making a couple of those, they've realized, all right, we've made too many. We've kind of lost the lead. We've kind of, you know, put too much slack on this leash. And Burmese Ghouls, they are just waiting for this Lord. In the next 50 seconds or so, if somebody is going to get caught, it's not going to matter too much unless it starts happening right now at the 40-second mark where the death timers, you won't be able to reach the Lord in time after respawn.
Yeah, no kill here is free. No kill is free. All right, Few here picks up the glowing wand. Now they can confirm more kills. Maybe. I think maybe is the only one who can really afford to die given the pull yourself together. And look at this, a silent war between tanks.
Agreed, but again, you don't want to be the first one who dies. Few, he walks up because he knows, okay, at the end of the day, I can kind of get out. I have mechanics to do that, and it covers a lot of distance. But you can see that Lusty, he is hesitant. He's walking him, he's like, no, I don't want to be the one who goes down because he is so important to the team. That Wave the Dragon is going to be a make it or break it.
Look at this turtle. Look at this Lord, rather.
Yep.
There's the Luminous Lord.
He's up. Carl Teasy picks up an Immortality. Now the fight is broken down. Flap Teasy, Puissance after the ejector. We're taking it slow because I know that both teams don't want to pull the trigger here willy-nilly. This is going to matter. Whoever gets out of this whether by a big margin or by a very small trade. Oh, hold up, he gets caught by the Imperial Justice. That's going to be the starting punch here from Bren Esports, and they burst down one. That's going to be Rebo taken out. They're not looking for anything else. A trade, where do you find it? Few gonna be flickering out. They've already split the pie here, and now Flapteasy destroyed by maybe 2 for none so far, and Few is scared of Ruby DD. This is where Ruby DD wants you.
Few forced out of his base. He cannot join the defense. Ruby DD doesn't want to take him down here as much as possible. He just wants to not see him recall back to base.
Oh, that's going to be the Immortality pop onto Carl Teasy. Oh, not even the Phantom Execution or the Thorn Rose will save you, ladies and gentlemen. Lusty is the last to go, and that's going to be Burmese Ghouls taking game number 4.
Oh my goodness, thank God that this is a best of 7, because this really is a great adaptation, and overall the Burmese Ghouls managing to punch back, and they need that momentum back. Bren, they need to get that momentum, because once you see them run out of gas here, the Burmese Ghouls, they start sniffing out, and they will brick wall you until you just kill yourself of frustration.
The Burmese Ghouls have proved that this is a marathon, and now, of course, going for that reset, both sides 2-2, and still we need 2 more games on either side to claim that championship title, but it's slow and steady winning the race right now.
It's the form of these players.
That's
like
when the Burmese Ghouls can start abusing a guy.
And given how these matches go, it's impossible for teams to just change their strategies and their playstyles on the fly.
Yeah.
Both Bren and Burmese Ghouls want to get that early turtle. And you're right, Akai don't do much before level 4, and Akai will be sitting at level 2 or 3 when that first turtle comes up.
Then again, some of these picks coming out from Bren Esports don't do anything really by the time that they don't hit the level 4. But you know what? Just looking at it, Akai is one of those tanks that are good against invade lineups.
Ooh.
At least.
Is that your read, Butters? Is that your read?
At least.
That was actually what I was thinking when we get into this game.
All right, well then, game number 5 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Burmese Ghouls versus Bren Esports. Let's get it.
Contra, talk to me more about this invade. What were some of your thoughts about how, defending the invade was going to look like?
Okay, speaking of that invade, right? You just look at the entirety of the lineup. It is about setting up for that blazing duet, and of course, a little bit of an invade coming in from the side of Lusty. Oh boy.
I mean, this is what you expect when you see a Jawhead, right, Butters?
True.
But you know what? Few here getting jumped by D, and Few
Wait, don't actually die here.
doesn't
Wait.
have the flicker, and that is the opening. That is the opening of a Lunox. If you don't have level 4, then that only means that you are going to be a main target here for Kid.
What is okay, I mean, all right, that's going to be fine, but I think that you definitely should have really considered just sticking to the wave and abusing the fact that you can just be healing off the wave and you don't necessarily have to participate just yet. But now Few once again getting punished here by Kid.
This is looking really bad. He just entered the lane, and one more Abyssal Arrow. Oh, just misses by a couple of centimeters right there. But, talking about this RV scenario here, of course, still having Bren Esports here going for those buffs is going to be causing a little tension here. Lusty gets bursted. As you can see, Kid is now 2-1-0 with Abyssal Arrow, really sniping him down.
Kid is so good at keeping Bren Esports at bay. He got 2 kills from Bren Esports already, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna stop soon.
Now remember what the payoff is right now, because Yishin Chin's level 4 and Ace is still at level 3. They bought a ton of time at the cost of 2 kills, unfortunately, to say the least. But let's see whether they can convert this into something important. Like Kid, he is going to need to make sure that he lands those Abyssal Arrows. He's got 2 kills under his belt, and Mystery Shop. If he ain't getting items and he ain't landing those Abyssal Arrows, he's just as good as dead.
Okay, first turtle fight, Kid goes down.
And it's going to be the engagement coming in from the side of Bren Esports. Great, perfect pick as they connect that Abyssal Arrow, but they jump the gun. And this is where Bren Esports says, okay, we are coming right back at you with another 2 kills.
Just a bit of disrespect coming out from the side of Burmese Ghouls, but Bren, really good preemptive play, setting up their trenches early on.
They learned this as well from the side of Burmese Ghouls, like using that brush That is a trademark. That is a move that comes from Burmese Ghouls. We've seen that in Game 3 and Game 4. Game 5, Bren Esports utilizing that jawhead to do the same play.
Yeah, and now Burmese Ghouls is getting invaded once again. Kid tries to look for that sort of catch, but here comes a little bit of defense coming in from Maybe. Tries to make sure that he's always in the front, soaking all the damages. And Diamond Force already popped up. Not enough to survive out of this 2v1 down bot.
Wait, what is going on? Why is Kid still level 3? Maybe just hit level 4. Did Kid... Oh, looks like Kid just needs to get a little bit off of the Lethal Wanderer. It should be level 4. Yep, hits level 4 now. Maybe trying to make the play. Here comes... Oh, no. He is just caught down right now.
Oh, he's alive!
He's alive! No way! This time! No way! The quick set guard kept him alive! And now D, he's trying to finish him up, but he's buying time. Rebo! He makes it out! No way! No way!
Insane! Can we get a replay on that? He just outplayed Burmese Ghouls, and what a finisher!
That was a good plan coming up from Burmese Ghouls. Now, they poured everything onto that pickoff, but I guess it wasn't really the best target.
It has to be an executional misplay, right? They literally were on top of him. Once again, the Whirlwind is going to get on towards you, buddy. He gets it. Kid gets ejected backwards, and that's going to be the end of Selena almost instantaneously. Bren, can you feel their blood pumping? I can feel the momentum coming out of these boys.
I just feel that having a break gives this players new perspective on this.
Yeah, gotta thank those 8 it's coffees out there, you know, they've been getting themselves a little bit boosted up with that. And speaking of which, it's going to be the turtle taken by Bren Esports again, going for a dive. They have managed to catch out maybe, and this is going to be the ejector on towards Kid. How far can you run, Kid? Make your way out because they're coming for you. Now Ace forcing out a flicker. Calamity Reaper being brought by Ruby DD, but Bren Esports, they are just storming their way freely.
Now, Burmese Ghouls, they're having a bit of a problem in terms of execution. Maybe he's playing a good game, to be honest.
Yep.
He has put all the Hurricane Dance in on his belt, and it trapped a lot of people already. A lot of heroes on the side of Bren Esports. But the thing is, Bren Esports has been more responsive and more reactive to what Burmese Ghouls does.
I mean, those executional misplays could be a problem here as D is trying to lock down Rebo once more. Maybe he's walking up close, but again, here comes the Raging Sandstorm. He gets hit by the Missile Arrow. Kid should be able to secure this one. No way! They're going to let him live again. Not going to make the second mistake again as Ruby DD coming in with the Zaman Force. Going to be pushing on forward, and the Yishin Shin taking away and invading that purple buff here. But on top side, once again, it's going to be Flapteezy who's going to be locked down. And D, no! He actually gets him able to proc the passive and few. He's going to be on the run, but Lusty, even though he's there on the fight, it's a 2v3 situation, doesn't want to take it.
Okay, so for Bren Esports, yes, you have the lead, but you cannot go for those risky plays. You need to mind your position. As Burmese Ghouls, they have a lot of disposition. Maybe with the Hurricane Dance, if he catches you overextending, that is going to be a divided fight for your team.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that Burmese Ghouls, although they are ticked by the Khalid that has been causing them quite a lot of upset over the top side, they have managed to turn things around. And speaking of which, ejector on towards D. He's running for his life, but this is definitely going to be a goner for the side of Burmese Ghouls to try to rescue him in that sort of sense. So they have to give him up. Now, 4 versus 5 on this turtle. I think they also have to give even more back towards Bren Esports.
Credits to Lusty, he's doing an amazing job with these catches. However, he is collecting those kills when honestly it should be going to some other person. Hopefully that doesn't bite them in the butt later on into the game, but for now it's like, yay, okay, you've got the Athena shield, I don't mind tanking a couple of Abyssal Arrows.
Yeah. Kid is throwing those arrows, he's hitting those arrows, but the problem is Lusty is just always in his...
Oh! Punish!
Like that?
Again! Unstoppable Force as well! The Zaman Force is going to be popped out of the Blazing Door coming in from Ace, but Ace is kind of big here. He can't finish them off. Now Rubini D is going to be the onslaught to try and push them down. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. It's a 2-for-2 trade. It's looking real good. Can they get another one? Flapteezy jumps off the wall to try and pull through it. D, he catches him off. Ace still with the orange buff. This is going to be huge. Oh my goodness. What a great fight coming in from both of these teams. But Bren still coming up on top.
Yeah, you can definitely see that D was actually controlling the tempo right there. But let's have a look at the items, Butters. I'm pretty sure that now some of these players are pretty huge in this match.
Okay, Carltizi will go for the endless battle. He's just setting it up. But while for Ace, he has the Demon Hunter sword, and that is going to go to a golden staff. That's pretty standard. But one of the players that you really have to look out for is Ruby DD. He has the Calamity Reaper, the Feather of Heaven, and that is going to be bad for Bren Esports if they do not take account of this hero. They need to look. They need to be aware of their surroundings. They need to choose their fights. Don't fight on narrow spaces if they want to win this. But for Burmese Ghouls, if you want to win, place your fights there.
Okay. Yeah, and we've been looking at all these sort of picks, right? Just look at Lusty. He's actually going in towards a full armor build as well as getting tanky as it goes. But he's managing that 5 kills every single time that he goes in for the effort. Just going for the unstoppable force, trying to catch either Kid or at times maybe because he's the first target that you see most of the time, right? So making sure that you don't have Hurricane Dance when you need it the most is going to be very vital.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Hurricane Dance is a huge spell, but the Mountain Chakra coming out from Bren Esports' side, really smart stuff, especially when they're taking Turtle. Burmese Ghouls, they want to go in, but only when it's inconspicuous, baby. He jumps on in with a 1,000-pounder and now forces out Lusty into that corner with the Hurricane Dance, forcing out the fight. Ruby Kid is going down. Ace already coming in with a Blazing Duet. It's not going to be enough. He does get the Golden Staff, but the rest of the team, Bren is on the run. Can they turn this around? He turns it and tries to go. Kid gets on top of him. This time, Esports have been working out perfectly well, and they catch them out again. Kid, this Wonder Kid landing every important abyssal arrow yet.
What did we tell them about? No, not going in for the jungle invade, but Rainbow now going for the catch as well. He's trying to pick off Ruby DD. This is gonna look pretty bad because Bren Esports loses another one, leaving only Carltizi behind.
Bren Esports, they're making these risky decisions that they shouldn't be even taking. They have the lead as of now, and after that, I think Burmese Ghouls, they know that they can fight at this point on 50 seconds on the timer on that Lord, and that is going to be the first major fight here that Burmese Ghouls is gonna take.
And I mean, the picks have been going really well. Let's look at the items one more time to get a better idea, because I did see Carltizi actually getting the Endless Battle as well as the Blade of Despair all of a sudden 2 in a row, and yeah, he is going to have a ton of damage already hitting level 15 on top of that.
You know what? Ace has his own items as well, and in terms of damage output, he has an AoE.
There we go. And it's going to mount the Shankar being used and expanded immediately. Reply with the Hurricane Dance as well, pinning him down towards the wall. Here comes Activity, trying to actually pop out that Electo into play. But my goodness, there's a split push coming off from the side of D. As Burmese Ghouls, they're tearing out some of all these members to different parts of the map. But Rebel now in the middle of it all. It's going to be Abyssal Arrow trying to connect towards the side of Bren Esports. Baptiste, he does get a lot of damage out towards the side of Ace, but Ace walks away alive. But still, D is on the back. They might just actually look for pigs, but we're going in for a little bit of room to just dissect this big fight that just erupted.
Oh my goodness, these fights have been absolutely ridiculous here, but right now the major issue that I'm seeing now, especially since the 8th minute, sorry, no, pull it back one more minute, the 7th minute of the game here, is the fact that Benedetta isn't exactly clearing her waves before she joins that fight, resulting in a lot of missed, well, not even missed opportunities, just a lot of gold for free going over to the side of the Burmese Ghouls. Like, Yuzong getting a huge push on that top side shouldn't be happening.
And this is where Bren Esports, I think, is having tunnel vision. Like, they just want to win the fights, and they know that they can. But still, if it's going to be an even, it's going to be an even trade. Like, let's say 2 for 2.
Leo?
Then someone just, gets a push onto the bottom lane. That's going to the side of Burmese Ghouls.
Totally fair, but Leo, what are some of your thoughts on this while we're in this in-game pause?
This reminds me of Game 4. Remember Game 4? It was all Bren in the early game. And then as soon as the marksman, Ace, and Ruby DD came online, it's over. It's over. Like, this is what it's turning about, and so far, it's frustrating to see Bren just fall for these traps. Again, like, oh, here's one. No, we got you. And then Burmese Ghouls turn around. And again, the accuracy of D on this Selena is just ridiculous.
Oh, you mean Kid, actually.
Kid, sorry, Kid,
Yeah.
Kid. Well, yeah, Selena on Kid, Kid on Selena. It is what it is.
It honestly really is nasty. And Aaron, I want to get your thought on this because, again, the chase, just the fact that Burmese Ghouls, when they get that first initial pick, they really know how to chase you down.
Yeah, and immediately that's where the Akai responds, and will all of them just topple all these sort of members all the way in towards that dive. And look at all these sort of these scenarios that has came by. Like the Yuzong also roams freely. Like it's something that honestly Burmese Ghouls definitely knows they're not going to be focusing on towards these Yuzong anyways, and he gets that free reign up top, now opening up the map. So someone has to deal with this situation when they go in towards fights, because this sort of split push can happen again.
That's how bad it is for Bren Esports right now. Is because D is having the time of his life up top, and the mere fact that out there is maybe this Akai, it just splits open the map and again gives D all the space to just wreak havoc in one single lane. Gideon, has this changed your mind? Do you like the Akai now? Are you a believer?
I'm not 100% believer on it. Butters, what do you think?
I think it's actually effective against this side of Bren Esports.
It stops you from making those important plays, like your positioning. You gotta keep it in check. But Bren Esports, they've been falling for these traps, and that is why I think Akai is working.
I don't think Akai is working at 100%. I would give it's working at 70% efficiency here.
Hey, 70% is better than less than 50.
Agreed. However, my biggest concern for the side of Bren Esports is mainly Flapteezy, because he knows he's supposed to be this big damage dealer for the team, and he feels like, I gotta be in this fight, but he's gotta believe that Carl Teasy is able to pull this out, because at the end of the day, Flapteezy's job is to make sure they don't lose side objectives when these fights occur. He clears faster than the Yuzong. He rotates faster than the Yuzong every single time.
True enough, but speaking of buying time here, it's going to be maybe it being that sort of the non-value target that is always bugging the back lines or the front lines of the side of Bren Esports, and immediately buying time for this Lord, and it will be Burmese Ghost that gets it in the way. Flicker being popped there from the side of Lusty. Ace goes in for the place. They get that pick on towards the Giant, but look at maybe he does lose a lot of health, but Flapteezy coming in to cut right through. Ruby DD tries to turn this one around. Flapteezy has to make a way to Ash right out, but the rest of Bren Esports, they're slowly being wiped away.
Oh my goodness, Burmese Ghouls. They're so good with these reinitiations. The counter engage, they go for a fake back, then Bren Esports chases. Burmese Ghouls just surprises them by pushing forward as well.
I mean, Bren, they are getting hot-headed here. They are really tunnel visioning on these situations. The moment the Lord is gone, yes, you can force, but again, I have to admit, even I would have fallen for something like that. But again, discipline is going to be key, because the Burmese Ghouls managed to outplay so many of them. Flapteezy ended up getting solo killed by Ruby DD, even though he did have the execute. Something you don't usually see.
Yeah, and just look at how huge Ace is at right now. But over the top side, there's also another situation going on. They're trying to force their way through, as Ripple is already clearing out the wave. Over on the mid side, you can definitely see Flapteezy keeping an eye out as well. Oh, great damage onto Kid, but Missile Arrow does not land. Now, they do find a way to actually open up the bottom side, and the side lane's pretty much exposed.
Oh boy, it's going to be a game of scaling here. Ruby DD is able to get another inhibitor turret on top of everything else. And Ace, he comes in with the Battle Mirror image. He's also got the orange buff, so he does a bit of damage, bringing Flapteezy down to 50% of his HP.
Okay, maybe. This is something that Akai does as well, Gideon. Like, you can't really position yourself near the brushes just because there could be a hurricane dance that's about to hit you. And he does have the flicker as well. It's not the same as your Akai Petrify. He can position himself well with this.
And also, now that he's purchased that immortality, having 2 lives into play, and this can go on for so much longer. Mountain Shocker exposes Kid, so he's going to be falling back. But Flapteezy being pretty much close proximity. It might just be a pick right here. Brilliants have already been popped coming from the Lunox, but maybe trying to force the issue right now. Bren Esports respecting the dives, and oh, Lusty gets caught out, flickers away, but still having Ace picking him off. It's a mega kill for the Yuzong. 2 members down, and man, Bren Esports needs to defend for their lives right now.
And honestly, maybe is doing a really good job acting as a threat. Flapteezy is going to clear up the waves as soon as he can, but now RubyDD is getting into that backline, drops that Salmon Force, gets that free kill, and Bren, they just got to let this one escape here. 10 more seconds till Lusty comes back up, but wait, there is no wave. Oh no, it's going to be Flapteezy who's going to get caught out here, stuck against the wall.
Oh!
That's going to be GG. Burmese Ghouls take the 5th round.
Burmese Ghouls at match point, and they are feeling good about this. They feel confident. You can hear them screaming. It's there. One more game for Burmese Ghouls. Just one more game.
They need that championship point in hand, and oh my goodness, they are sitting pretty and just needing that few more steps in towards the finish line. And Leo, honestly, is it signs that Bren Esports are losing a lot of energy to cross that hurdle?
I don't know if it's frustration, if it's fatigue, if it's just the way that they play. They're not used to battle of attrition like this. But if there's anything I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the caster's desk, is the fact that as well earlier today.
Yeah.
Earlier today, side lane Hayabusa.
Side lane Hayabusa. I don't know, because the important thing for specifically the Burmese Ghouls is just that wave control, and it's going to be a little bit difficult in the earlier stages of the game. You don't have the items, so you naturally have to depend on EXP to help you clear it out, but it's not the fastest. Bren on the other side, they've got some decent, and I say decent wave clear at best, but they are an extreme, but they do have a Brody, and I don't know if Brody can compensate for all of that.
Honestly, it's definitely a tough question to answer right now because you got double assassins on deck. So if that OG Shadow kill alongside with the Tyler trailing behind, like, what can you do?
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 6 could end right here, right now. This is the Burmese Ghouls versus Bren Esports. The age of Myanmar MLBB might as well be upon us.
You know, we're going in towards this championship point right here for the likes of Burmese Ghouls, but I'm thinking that Bren Esports, they have finally gotten enough of that tenacity. They know that it's been so many matches that we've been playing upper brackets, lower brackets, and we've made it thus far. But now, it's going to be Lusty with a temp.
Okay, Lusty is going to try and deny maybe from this buff here. They want to just make sure that Ace, he goes and gets the wave, but still manages to come back to pick it up. Not so bad overall. Didn't even have to use Retribution. However, 3 executes for the side of Burmese Ghouls. They're going to make sure they kill that one poor soul.
And Flapteezy here is going to be the possible target of those executes. Probably Flap as well, since they don't really have the hold on that Benedetta. But yeah, I mean, Bren Esports just go for the information. Burmese Ghouls just trying to get their level 4, and probably they're gonna have a team fight by the time that RubyDD hits level 4.
Did Lusty just pop that flicker for not much of a reason, and now he's being stuck in between? I'm not too sure if this is definitely the good call coming from Bren Esports, but View tries to pressure the rest of Burmese Ghouls all the way backwards, so lucky enough, he will be able to escape. But Dino, this is first blood for Flapteezy.
And this is usually the pacing of our early game. Bren Esports gets the early lead. Burmese Ghouls become disciplined. They don't take the risky plays, and they usually take the game back before the mid-game spike hits.
I mean, we're going to have to wait and see whether this is going to be the same case again. It also depends on how much of a lead that Bren is able to develop. But on top side, a lot of contention here, especially between RubyDD and with the help of Kid. It's becoming a bit tough, but Kid doesn't necessarily... Oh, he's kind of low here. This is going to be risky for both sides. Now, the fight is going to work here. Kid is going to be able to find that execute on to Joe, and unfortunately, that's going to be Burmese Ghouls picking this up, and it's going to be Farsa going to be zoning the rest out. Few, he's kind of low, and now... Oh! The headshot with the flames!
What a long range. I think that's actually a max range flame shot that we're seeing. Trying to go in for the body block, but... Oh boy, still gets caught out. Feels bad, not gonna lie.
So what happened there? Bren Esports, they had Flap only at level 3. He didn't have the Electro Final Blow. Burmese Ghouls, their course were at level 4, so they had a better time just controlling that certain fight.
Turtle, that much important, especially at a key point in the game. Now, Bren, okay, fine. You get it. You get 2 kills. We're able to trade 1. You get a turtle. No big deal. No big deal. Now you have to start looking for the punish. But Kid, he drops down the smoke screen as well with the help of D, actually behind him with the feather airstrike to make sure they are punishing Flapteezy as much as they can.
This is a battle between Lusty and Kid on how good they are at finding each other. So the one who's it is going to be Lusty, and the one who's hiding is always going to be Kid.
For sure, for sure. With the kit on kit, definitely it's a lot more harder in this game of hide and seek, but you know, Flapteezy is gonna have to contribute in towards the late game because at least this side of Bren Esports, they have some insurance, and here comes the fight.
Oh, maybe he's already started the initiation with RBDD jumping into the backline. Flapteezy's now in trouble, but now Rebo taking a full hit of the Oki Shadow kill. Really clean initiation coming in from the Burmese Ghouls, but does Bren want to look for some, retribution kills? No, it looks like they back away.
Over on the mid side though, D easily just flutters away, but opening up towards the top lane, Burmese Ghouls will be able to secure not only gold, but okay, just gold for the moment, but Lusty going for the catch on towards Ruby DD. They tried to make a run. Wave of the Dragon already connects, and there goes Yuzong.
Yep.
All right, now Burmese Ghouls, they do have the triple execute setup, but they don't have the flicker. So if they get caught out, they don't have that way to create a gap. Bren Esports, Burmese Ghouls really just wants to go at it at Bren Esports. They just want to stay near Rebo there, almost going down, and maybe to secure the kill.
Yep, they sacrifice Rebo for the sake of Turtle here, and now Bren Esports, they gotta make sure that they are constantly looking to try and initiate a lot of these fights. But Kid, he's gonna be walking in drop, doesn't drop the smoke screen and just wants to focus on the wave, maybe coming in from the flag, lands on top a few for now, drops up to Toys Poissons, but again, no real initiation and no real commitment from the Burmese Ghouls.
Have you seen the pattern just yet? Every single time that they go for a turtle, it's like, yeah, go take the turtle, I'm gonna punish Rebo on the side lane, and this has been happening for many of these games, and now Flapteezy managed to actually make a little bit of the move, but maybe is so bold on this move, but he catches few instead. Order spins being popped up as they all get knocked up in the air. Wave of the Dragon will get a kill for Flapteezy.
Ruby DD trying to get on top of it, but it's not looking too good. He gets hit by the execute coming in from maybe. A few manages to get on out of there. Now the feather airstrike does come down to Kitten, forcing a retreat, but he can't really do too much as he's just sitting down hoping he doesn't die. He knew he was going to die, so he just runs back, says emote, hello, hello, goes down over to Flapteezy.
Burmese Ghouls, they got punished a bit. And now, that should be you, Contra. But Bren Esports, I was passing it to you, but Bren Esports, Ruby DD is their next target. Yuzong here gets called out, but do they have enough damage?
Yeah, they do, and they managed to get that pick, and that's what they were looking for. Honestly, y'all had a moment there. Y'all made eye contact. I felt real uncomfortable there for a second.
Do you want to join?
No, please. I'd like to look at the game.
It's not just there in 3 ways anyway, so with that, Bren Esports now focusing on towards the turret. I'm thinking that this kid is going pretty huge, but here comes Lusty, flushing out maybe, but good news for Bren Esports, they finally get a turret right here, and the insurance policy that I mentioned in the form of Flapteezy actually working very well for them.
Yeah, it's going well, and Ace, he's getting that push onto that mid lane here, but maybe he's trying to distract them as much as possible with the Toys Poissons. But Flapteezy, he's not really into the idea. Something is up, and RubyDD does come from the engage on towards that flagging through mid, but few not all about it as well. Goes into that Brilliance, but this is where the fight is going to get interesting. Rebo can decide to actually go in. This is it. Lusty looking for an opportunity to jump on it. RubyDD is trying to hold him up, but D into a sideways. They don't realize it. They're going in huge. The feathered airside trying to chuck down few, but Lusty is able to cancel it off. They pick him off. There goes Kid. There goes D. And now the entire backline is gone. Bren can start focusing on the front line. RubyDD is the next to fall. A double kill coming in from Flapteezy. And maybe he just needs to sacrifice his life to allow Ace to live for the greater good.
What did I tell you? This is a great activation coming from Bren Esports, and they can't find the answers to Kaltizi at all.
This is just a back and forth between these two teams. And Ace almost getting caught out, but there is going to be Kid trying to take down Carl.
Can they pull this off, though? I mean, okay, Flame Shot coming out just to double-check the brush here, but I have to give it to Bren Esports. Leslie, he has been such a pivotal point for this team, literally with at least a 70% KPA kill participation in this entire game. It is just phenomenal how he keeps on trying to get on D.
Yeah, just looking at the current situation here, like, a lot of things have been expended in that sort of fight, and Bren Esports having 1 minute away from that Lord, it's definitely going to be huge if they can get something out of this mid lane. Blade of Despair already being purchased by Ace.
Oh, D, once again, he's going to really take it there. But now Few, he's on the run. He doesn't want to be a part of this no more. No, don't do it. He quickly goes into his brilliance here, but I don't think he's going to survive. With the help of Leslie, could he maybe turn this around? Oh, no.
Ruby.
Here comes the kill squad. It's going to be Ruby DD chasing after Leslie here, as maybe is trying to run Few down. If he doesn't take it finally using the execute, but here comes Ace. He's able to get that kill onto Leslie. It's going to be a 3-for-1 trade. Look at Flapteezy. He's got the push onto top side.
Sword intent used, and they're just trying to go for the push. There is going to be minions onto the bottom side here on the side of Bren Esports, and they might just get the trade.
Yeah, and I definitely like this sort of trade, but Rainbow has already arrived. Blood Ult being popped up, trying to tank every single hit coming from the side of Burmese Ghouls. He gets popped, but here comes Kaltizi, though. He's trying to tear them apart, but maybe he's trying to run for it. Flapteezy has just arrived, and hello, meet the Electo, and Kid coming in from the back as well. They tried to dance this one up. One last shot does it. It's a double kill for Kaltizi.
This is huge. Bren is gigantic here. I mean, you gotta give it to him. Brody was a problem, and I think everybody understands why.
TZ connection. This is the TZ brothers, and they do not want their dream to end here.
Ruby is coming right in to disrupt the flow, but here comes D. He gets popped up. This is looking pretty tough, but Bren Esports, they finally get the Lord, but here comes Rebo. He tries to hold on. Kaltizi, 12 minutes from dropping down. Maybe the last member standing in this Lord pit for Burmese Ghouls.
Oh my goodness, this game.
It's a tug of
Back
war.
and forth. This is a seesaw, a tug of war. Kid is there. He might go for Karn.
Oh, he goes in, Kid. He's looking for an opportunity. He can't seem to get it. The brilliance has popped off in time. Burmese Ghouls, they go down. Kaltizi still alive. No executes available. Oh my goodness, they finally start pulling ahead.
My word. Just look at the items. I can't go into explain more, Butters. You gotta do this.
Okay, alright, let me do this. Now, Kid is planning to go for the Blade of Despair. I've lost my words here. But the items are now out. Let's just go here. Lusty goes in, catches this Farsa, and that is going to be the first line of defense down. And these are going to be turrets falling very low. Few in the middle of everything. He has a lot of lifesteal.
Yeah, the re-engagement from Burmese Ghouls they are considering, but they realize no waves, no go. They don't have the members to pull this off, and not to mention, I mean, Flapteezy, they don't know exactly where he is. And once again, the inhibitors are under scrutiny here. And finally, they break the mid inhibitor. Few finally getting his Holy Crystal, and they want to push in for more.
This is the gameplay that we have been waiting for from the side of Bren Esports. Slow and steady does it, but look at Kid though. He's in the position right here. Ruby DD, he tries to buy a little bit more time, looking for the flank angles here. They're looking for the kill onwards maybe, and they do get it. But Kid, he gets popped out. This is big news for Bren Esports as they are now reaching right in. Flapteezy goes in to take them down, but Yuzong managed to stop what they are looking for right there. And both Lusty and Flapteezy, they bow out.
What a defense coming in from the Burmese Ghouls here. That Oki Shadow Kill totaling to a 2.8k worth of damage.
Okay, what happened there was Burmese Ghouls were starting their fights with the Farsa getting caught out. They used their base as an advantage. They let the Farsa start at a late part of the fight to use the feathered airstrike, and that really gave them the win for that.
Oh, and D already with a feathered airstrike, chunking Few out to literally 1 HP, and this is why Bren Esports has been targeting him time and time again.
Yeah, you can definitely notice that this itself has been pretty much on a seesaw ride, and Flapteezy looking for that catch. And from the back, it's going to be Flapteezy that will be cutting right in, trying to connect that Electo onto its members, but it's going to be Kit here that is getting chased down. So how long can this Natalia go?
He just has to buy time. Kid is just looking to buy as much time as possible as the rest of the team is rotating towards the bottom side of the map. However, mid prior isn't there either, so regardless... Oh, Ace, he can't get caught.
We are the dragon in towards the middle, and you can see the Lunox have been tearing them apart. And there goes Ridity. He's getting chased by. Maybe it's retreating right now. This might just be the turf pick that they've been looking for. But look at how tanky he is. He's still diving over the backline. Flame Chop misses, but Lusty, he's making a way for a retreat. Baptiste now tries to dive right back in towards the fight. Kalkizi, he tries to shred them, but
Look at
how
this
can
card!
he do this?
1v3!
Oh, he wants to take this all for himself. Ruby DD tries to go with the black tail, but he
There we
doesn't
go.
go. The Dragon Tail does not connect in time, and Flapteezy secures that kill. Oh boy, this fight. It's so close. It is so close. It comes down to a wire's edge, and we're seeing double ults coming out now.
That was a 1v3. Carl there, a pick off on him could have just ended the game, or could have given the next objective Lord to the side of Burmese Ghouls, but he did not hesitate. He just went in.
Speaking of hesitations here, there should be no hesitations on this Lord. Bren Esports, if they get this hands on this, Burmese Ghouls may not be able to come back anymore. Here comes Maybe though. Just try to get vision. Lord is now in favor of Bren Esports. All they have to do, go in for the reset, but Kid also trailing behind. He tried to, of course, cost multiple bombs of cred, but how can Burmese Ghouls stop this?
Burmese Ghouls, they're just going to have to clear the waves. They have to play this smart. And Bren, they just did the recall, so this is a great opportunity because they slightly mistimed it. So they have about 3 seconds to pull this off. Lusty trying to catch onto Maybe here. He gets away with the Dragon, but look at that backline. Few gets chucked out quickly as Ace going on in with the initiation coming in from Ruby DD. However, the Toys Poissons, just to trail it off, they should be able to take out the Lord as well as the side empowered wave Lord minions as well.
Last minute, the Roar has already been bought from the side of Kaltizi. Now, they've already cleared out the Lord, so great execution coming from the side of Burmese Ghouls, but look at all the minions marching right in from the lower side. Maybe tries to pull this off, and order villains in return for the feathered airstrike. Bren Esports looking to tear up the turret, and here comes the last Hura, and Bren Esports looking to push it in towards Game 7, and Burmese Ghouls have to defend this one. Flapteezy goes in for the act, though, trying to cut off all these waves. The field gets purchased down. Not looking all too good for Bren Esports right now. They are looking to turn this one around. Ace get kicked all the way towards the back. Lusty, Ribble, they're on the retreat. Same goes to Flapteezy. Kaltizi still got full health, though. He's looking to turn this one. Rubinity, he just have to advance forward with this sort of buff being in the up for contention. Definitely Kaltizi should be able to get this one, as this goes on a slight reset, only for one exchange.
Oh my goodness, Bren unable to crack open the Burmese Ghouls. They do profit a lot with those two inhibitors, but can they finish off this game already? They've got that lead. However, if one more fight occurs and the Burmese Ghouls defend against them, oh no, Bren, Flapteezy, he can't get caught out like this. The Courage Mask has already been popped here, but he wants to go for more. He's getting a bit greedy. He's going to get hit with the Electo, but now he's able to actually go for the eye for the eye. PG, they're stuck. They're out in the open. Kid, he's going to get on out of there. The rest of Bren, they're looking to cut them off. Ace, he's going to pull on through. Does he get hit by any CC? No, he doesn't. He goes into the Oki Shadow Kill for. Maybe he's going to get caught out. Ace manages to make it out. Now, in the backline, Rubini trying to finish off Flapteezy here. So close. Electo, final blow, makes it out. And this is going to be a free kill for Kaltizi as he takes out Rubini, and the rest of the team is able to kind of peel them back 2-0 in favor of Bren.
Lusty, just the ever reliable Lusty, just getting the right moment to go for this. He got the Winter Truncheon, but will it matter? Will it even matter?
No, it does not. Oki, Shadow Kill, go away. Kid, he calls it to the back line. He's trying to take out Few. Kid is the next to fall. The brilliance. There it is. Bren, bring it to a Game 7.
And we are going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. This fight is not over.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not what we all deserve as die-hard, ever-loving MLBB esports fans? Ladies and gentlemen, Bren Esports able to dig deep, and despite 2 games in a row, surrender and concede the halfway point, they figured out this time. And as Butters so aptly put it, we're going into Game 7.
Yeah, and now the championship point is up for grabs for both of them. Oh,
High risk, it's so high concept at this point.
Exactly. Tight, narrow jungle. Nah, don't fight there, Bren.
Burmese Ghouls, if you look at it, if they don't finish the game early, the scaling is going to favor the side of the Philippines, Bren Esports.
yeah, I honestly really like this Loyi. We haven't seen that Loyi in a while now. Now, paired with this Boxia, you can definitely go even more places that the Boxia could not reach. So with that being said, this is our very final game in this best of 7 in the AM2 World Championship 2020. Who will be your champions right here? Pop it in the chat. And if you guys are in the cinema, make sure you scream it out loud. Is it Burmese Ghouls? Is it Bren Esports? Back and towards the land of dawn for our last match here. Casters, it's been a long day, but we need a champion at the end of the day.
We do need a champion. Burmese Ghouls, Bren Esports. One last game.
One last showdown to show who is going to be sitting up here on top. Bren on the red side, Burmese Ghouls on the blue. As they take this nice and slow, they don't go with a buff start and immediately look to clear the mid wave. And, you know, overall, as we were kind of talking about how the matchups are going to go, we can already see how the lane priorities have been given over to either side.
Again, Ruby DD with the rogue off meta pick, Grok. This is the lethal Grok in Game 7.
Ooh, it's risky, but we've seen it work before, and now the question really does come down to whether they get a catch onto Few. For now, it's looking pretty good, but Flapteezy going in pretty hard, but Kid, nobody having the execute at the end of the day, so they're not going to go for the dive.
Okay, so the Louis pick on Few will just keep people from Burmese Ghouls, let's say, poked as much as possible. The damage will be consistent. So Burmese Ghouls, there might be times here when they are going to take objectives that they would just opt to go for that just because they don't have full HPs.
It's not even just about the full HP.
Yeah.
It really does come down to who is going to win this level 4, and it is leaning more towards the Burmese Ghouls, but under specific conditions here. Because Bren Esports, overall, you look at their composition, it's like, yeah, this makes sense. They go in, they take the fight, full team fight, plenty of AOE damage, lots of magic damage, got a pick, got a Lusty with that pick. It's almost perfect. But then you look at Burmese Ghouls, and you see the King's Calling, and you're like, ooh, that's kind of a problem, because if we count the number of mobility skills and spells coming out from Bren, that's at least 4 of them. Actually, that's at least 4 of them, yes.
Yep. So again, great read here by the Burmese Ghouls, playing the reactionary lineup despite being on blue side. The genius mind of Coach Panda here in action now. Turtle started here by Ace, and he's going to put a few beads on it. Again, Brody doing well for Bren Esports in game number 6, here game number 7. How the tables have turned. Now the fight has begun inside the river. Order Brilliance now popped here by Kid. He wants out. That's 1 ult counted down for each side as the Puissance is in for Flapteezy. They disengage.
Okay.
I mean, Kid can't switch over to Chaos Darkness anyway, so still he is going to be relevant in this turtle fight.
Games take longer, then that means it favors the side of Bren. Now, oh! Look at that magnet, the yin and the yang. Diversion is there.
Hold up, here we come. Bren, fakes it. They're going to continue the fight, though, up north. Few, first blood.
Oh.
Here comes D. He starts it strong. That's going to be a disengage, and now Bren is disincentivized for going into this first turtle take. Hold up, they still want more. That's going to be called easy. Blazing Duet out of here, and yeah, it's a push and pull.
Yeah, it really is. And Few, unfortunately, making the mistake. He tried to fake it out with the rest of his team, especially with that fast rotation coming in from Bren Esports, and the rest of the team wants to get in. Now, Flapteezy, he jumps right on top of Kid. He drops out the Toys Poissons, as well as the Rejuvenate, in hopes that Lusty gets in time. He flickers on backwards, kicks back, Ace into the fight. The King's calling his up, but the damage has been done. Loyi getting a double kill so early into this game. Oh, Few! He's so close to dying, doesn't get hit by the Nature's Bear, but he gets hit by the Wild Charge at the end of the day. RubyDD, the next to fall. Huge win for Bren.
And Bren Esports, they are finding the trades. Burmese Ghouls not backing down. And you could see a lot of things working to the side of Bren Esports there. The kick on Ace was perfect. That's just what they needed at that certain point in time.
The exact target. Now, quick item check before the 5-minute mark. That's already tough boots onto Lusty. CarlTZ picks up the Raptor Machete. D uses the ult to disengage. That's 2 chasing down onto him. And look down bottom. This is actually some pressure onto RubyDD. I think Bren Esports have had it with this surprisingly lethal Grok.
Yeah.
This is the first time that we see him hugging the turret.
I mean, they have to make sure that he doesn't get too far away here. Because, again, Grok with the power of nature, very annoying. Oh, he gets hit by a lot of bullies here, as well as the Chrono Finisher as well. But now they're trying to jump on top of Rebo. Oh, they almost catch him as well, forcing him to use the Purify. And the rest of Burmese Ghouls, they pull back. Big plays. Ooh, Flapteezy, what happened? 1 HP?
I guess he was dueling with the 2 up top. And,
Lapu Lunox.
he calls it quits, yeah.
Lapu Lunox is just
hold
way
up.
too good.
Blazing duet by CarlTZ. Yeah, down goes maybe. Kid can't answer back. Interesting entrance by Bren Esports, and right now they're trying to go for this push, looking for a conversion. Ace puts a few beads, gonna be popping the torn apart memory from here on very soon now. Oh, nice wild charge here by RubyDD, and they decimate Bren Esports from underneath their own tower. 3 for none. The Ghouls are feeling it.
They are pouncing back. They're looking to really turn this into the brawl. And D, he knows that he has to throw himself under the fire. And Flapteezy, he's going to be dropping. Oh, he gets peeled back.
Move.
It's a great pull, but he does force out the Rejuvenate. And nobody can really deal with him thus far. Not enough damage. Can he get the Cyclone's Eye in time? He gets hit by the stun. Maybe steals the Cyclone's Eye, but Flapteezy, he's like, nah, Shield Unity, and I'm rolling out.
Okay, this is one of the things that Burmese Ghouls is really good at. And RubyDD, they've been going for a lot of these, what's the name of the ultimate of the Grok?
Wild Charge.
Wild Charge. This is for the longest time we haven't used Grok in the meta, and this is the first time that he was used. Wild Charge with the flicker. They've been using that time and again, and it's almost always certain that he's gonna be very near onto those rocks and just knock up the enemy.
Yeah, that's what's so nice about RubyDD's build here. Nice knock up here. Oh! What an alley-oop! Summon Force from underneath. In comes maybe the King's Calling, keeping people down.
No way!
That's gonna be Lusty. Oh my God, the tag team is in effect. Now, that's going to be Few from the backline losing the Kid. It's a duel. Mage on Mage action. And that's going to be the wipeout on 2 Few.
Oh!
That's going to be the Order Brilliance away for Kid. D takedown here by Flapteezy. That's a small consolation prize, 1 for 3.
Big wins all across the board for the Burmese Ghouls. They're very happy with this trade at the end of the day.
They should be holding on for Bren Esports, Burmese Ghouls. This is going as the way they planned it. They get pickups, they get kills, they control the mid-game, they make the most out of Ace, mid-game spike. That's it.
Oh no! Kid gets caught in by Flapteezy, and here comes RubyDD looking for a target. That's going to be a miss. A rotation in by Few, and this is Bren Esports pressuring the lane. So far, so good for the Burmese Ghouls. They're winning these fights, but just the same, Bren Esports are finding pickoffs where they can and pressuring the map. Look at this, a push by Rebo.
Yeah, they're literally, I mean, both sides are literally looking for those flanks, getting behind the tier 1 turrets and going for these heavy dives. But maybe that King's Calling is super effective against Rebo. Rebo has to be extra careful in that King's Calling. Purify ain't gonna save him.
Look at the Enchanted Talisman even being used here for Rebo, and that is quite unusual because a lot of the Harriet side laners are going for the Calamity Reaper and the Feather of Heaven.
Yeah, Flapteasy here senses something. Oh, nice pull by Maybe. That's going to be the Tortoise Poisons. And as well, I believe the Revitalize dropping here. But already 2 big ticket resources gone for Bren Esports. Well timed for the 30-second turtle coming up for Burmese Ghouls, the very last one.
They'll have their ultimates at the end of the day, and I think I did see Rebo actually purchasing the Calamity Reaper first, so don't worry about that. The Talisman, Enchanted Talisman came in a little bit later. Lusty, he's going to be looking for an opportunity to kind of, secure their position around the turtle, so they have first dibs for now, but Rubini D says hello to Few, and Few now under a lot of scrutiny here. The King's calling down right in the middle of the lane here. Nobody from the side of Bren Esports wants to walk forward, so it's going to be a free pick with no returns.
Maximum efficiency, that is the best use of King's Calling. You see how it fits the circle down the middle right so perfectly? And that's exactly what Maybe is doing here. But hold up, what's this? A nice trade for the turtle. Bren Esports lets it go. It's not coming in time.
But then again, you have to think about what they did there.
Here we go. Wild charge by Ruby DD. What a bait. That's got DD taking him down. And the life bars are dropping. Flapteasy shut down by Ace. And the fight continues. Where do they go? Zaman Force already expended here by Rebo. And that's both teams backing off. Lusty looking for more. And hold up. 10-7, 24K to 24K. This game is darn close, but the Burmese Ghouls are up by 1 turret.
Golden Staff is now up for Carl TZ, and you can see the trades. Ruby DD maybe is just playing the keep away game. He knows that if he stays alive, he can just keep on going for those pokes. Now, if you would look at the items, Lusty here with the Athena Shield. Rebo does have the Calamity Reaper with the Enchanted Talisman. Enchanted Talisman on Few as well. He's probably gonna go for something or something of a Ice Queen wand or a Lightning Cruncher, or probably a Glowing Wand as well.
Yeah, those are some pretty good shoutouts there, especially... Oh, wait, D, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to die here. There's nothing much he can do. He's going to get run down, especially with the amount of movement speed that he has in Flapteasy just to secure the kill with the Shield Unity. But now, rotation is going to be placed in the middle just so they can steal away the orange buff again. And then, unfortunately, Flapteasy is going to be, hey, I'm the carry now.
Oh, actually, that is the case. And now Kid gets caught in here. That's going to be quite a hit from the back line as Ruby DD goes in with a wild charge. Maybe here, caught out Flapteasy inside the turtle, the purple pit, and that's going to be the back out. Oh, nice knock up, nice way of the dragon, but they take out Flapteasy first. Lusty still in here. Kalteasy, blazing duet. He's trying to get one. That's going to be Kid, and they back out. Oh, nice power, nice swing by Ruby DD, but it's not enough. Double kill here for Kalteasy, 2 for 1.
And while that's happening, we have Rebo and Few going to the bottom lane.
Oh, Lord's up, Lord's up, it's free.
Lord's up, and they gatekeep the Burmese Ghouls from walking up forward. They made sure they teleported right in front of the base, making sure that they're standing on towards the top right side, just in case if D wanted to get a little bit more physical with them. But now they have the River Crab under their side. Kalteasy is kind of huge in these situations, and as of right now, Ace, he's got the burst damage, but Kalteasy, he's got some strong AoE.
Remember, the last time that they picked the Claude, it was relying on Claude alone. The damage output came from him alone. Right now for Bren Esports, they have this insurance policy. They have Rebo and the Harith, and both of them will have to carry the damage of this team.
Not to mention, Few just purchased the Necklace of Durance, and that's going to be very, very helpful, especially against Rubini D as well as D. And let's see how this fight is. It's about to occur. They want to look for that big engagement.
Here we go, Lord at about 1/6 of his health. That's going to be a reset. Flapteasy already pops here. The Poissons rolling out. And it seems like Ruby DD is going to be the first target. Oh, he goes for the swing, goes for the wild charge, and misses. That's a nice free pickoff for Bren Esports. Nothing for Burmese Ghouls to take here. Hold up. They jump in. Nice pull out to Lusty. He goes down. Kid gets the kill, and they are going to be backing off 1 for 1. Blazing duet by Kalteasy alongside his Zaman Force to keep them pinned down. That's going to be a double. Down goes Ace. Down goes Maybe. D as well. Kid is the only survivor in this onslaught. Ladies and gentlemen, Bren Esports have gone 4 for 1.
Let's go! Bren Esports, they see the King's calling, it's gone. They run straight down and force the engagement onto the Burmese Ghouls, and now will profit the Lord as well as a mid-tier. Oh my goodness, they should be able to get this. No, can they get this? Yes, they've got the as well.
The King's calling really worked their way, but look at Kalteasy trying to go for Kid. He takes down Kid.
No. Kid just falls right in front of his base. And so far, Bren Esports are not acknowledging any of Burmese Ghouls' efforts to protect themselves. So far, I think the Burmese Ghouls, they are trying here to just bait Bren Esports. Again, nice pulls by maybe so far, but I think Bren Esports knows that as soon as the pull happens, they leave who's gonna die and then just disengage and then come back around. This is the whole rope-a-dope Burmese Ghouls have been using all series long.
And not to mention that this is the first time we're actually seeing the Burmese Ghouls starting to really sweat against Bren. They're making some really unnatural mistakes, like similar to game one. But with Lord marching on through, they can't afford to lose their members. They have to break this Lord, and they have to be able to protect themselves. But Bren, they want to force the situation. They're going to be starting with the inhibitor down on bot side. Few taking a little bit of damage, but D wants to go even a little bit further. He's trying to get on Few. He's trying to execute Few, but instead he gets kicked on backwards. Baptiste now trapped all by himself in the King's Calling. Rebo gets pulled on in. He's trying to get on out of there. Maybe flickers forward, but now this is where they turn the tides here. Bren Esports, they're looking
my goodness!
This is it!
Kid is the only one left. Can he defend? Ladies and gentlemen, Bren Esports are your M2 champions!
From the lower bracket, they crawled out. Bren Esports are your M2 World Champions!
With one perfect team fight, this is it. We're going to pass it to our host to celebrate our